All right, everybody, hello, welcome to the CTL, the Chobo Team League Grand Finals. I have the rare treat of getting to cast with Maynard, which it's been a little hot minute because we've, of course, been in the off-season, but we are casting the Grand Finals between ScSwarm and PTHeroes. How are you doing, Maynard?
I'm starting to wake up, man, getting pretty excited. And this is someone in the top right here that we've actually cast before because ScSwarm, they just keep making it to these damn finals. This is Laminar. She is the purple Terran.
Looking good. I do love their logo as well. The big old Ultralisk, I believe that is, with the kindness plating. The ScSwarm, of course. Started as all Zerg players, but they've branched out a little bit.
Yeah, she's a university student, been playing SC2 since last March, and is already shooting up those ranks. 23 hours of preparation put in this tournament. In the bottom left here, representing PTHeroes, this is hot.
Hi-yo! And they've also got a picture of a passion muffin, a passion hosty hell muffin.
Passion muffin unlocks a bunch of different websites in my brain, but I'm pleased to see that. That actually looks like an ultra as well to me.
It kind of did. That's it. No, I thought it was that, but then, oh, maybe it isn't ultra. I really think because it's got the thing on, or maybe it is, but the thing on its back to me makes it look like a hell muffin, but maybe it is just a something else. Chat can help us decide. Maybe it's one of those like Tyrannosaurus Ultralisk skins. Anyways, cool to see, of course, Heart down here. Of course, we do start from the lower end of the players and work our way up. So I believe that they may have actually not ordered it exactly in terms of ascending MMR. I believe we have this time around. We're starting from that. So yeah, good stuff. Heart is definitely not from the totalitarian city-state of Singapore. Promoted this season to Diamond 3, meaning that they actually have no PTHeroes have no actual platinum players in the squad anymore. And a record of 4-0. Went from 2.6k to 3.3k MMR since joining PTHeroes. And this is always the story of the Chobo Team League, isn't it?
Oh, no.
Ooh, nice snipe from Laminar. Yeah, no dead space over there.
Yeah, I should be happy about that. The Overlord pickoff, especially, you know, as you know, and everyone watching right now, the first Overlord of the game is the worst one to lose. As it costs so much. Like, you only think, oh, it's 100 minerals. That's not a big deal, but 100 minerals 2 minutes into the game?
Oh, yeah.
Quite expensive.
Thankfully, an Overlord did pop there. I thought it was going to be a perma 28 supply block, and then I was like, oh, no, there isn't Overlord coming out, thankfully. I was like, phew. Yeah.
But, it's like just Overlords, though, which means,
yeah,
you know, no drones. Third also, it's 3 minutes in, no third yet for Heart.
Yeah.
The build's been upset.
Ooh, okay, a 3-minute Roach Roan. So it looks like we're going to see a Ling Speedless build. So Heart going to just go for Roaches, I think, to defend, maybe turn that into an attack as well. Laminar, on the other hand, interestingly, is going the Reactor Marine and just a single Hellion for now. So we might be seeing that Marine drop with the Hellion run by that's gotten popular recently. People taking their TVP and openings and saying, hey, why not use this against Zerg? You know, it was really funny when that first got popular. Beyond and a few others using it a lot, where they're like, oh, an 8 Marine drop can actually be really good against Zergs. Like if you wedge them in a mineral line or something like that. There's a few different cool things. And I think there's something where for so long we always thought you have to have a factory on a reactor to build Hellions, but it's not really the case. Like, you know, 3-4 Hellions still does a lot of damage. They still come out really quickly.
Yeah, it's quite common to have like just a 1 or 2 Hellions just to like marry up with, say, you know, Reaper if you're going for a Reaper expand, which is not happening for Laminar, by the way. She's dropping the fusion core. Ooh. She is a lady of taste and distinction going for the BC opener. Big fan.
Delicious. I like it, yeah. And the factory will now swap over and a second starport. Oh my god. I was like, hey, are we already getting a second factory? I was like, this seems like a kind of silly build. No, this is an awesome build. So one Banshee's going to come out, and I think that's the safety Banshee, which might even get cancelled. And then we're going to see 2 BCs coming out. Now, please don't cancel that Banshee. If she cancels that and then the Roach Ravager arrives, that would be such a bummer. I mean, she's got a bunker, 2 Hellions. The Banshee coming out, I think she should be okay. More Roaches and Ravagers are even rallying across the maps. This is a big attack from Heart.
I also think it's not as scary because there's not a flood of speedlings behind it as well. Because the Ravagers usually
she didn't repair.
Oh, she misclicked the bunker. It did not get repaired there. She even had the surface area, the opening to surround it with SCVs.
That's a bummer for Laminar. Yeah, she clicked on the depot next to the bunker, so her SCVs repaired 10 hit points of damage on that, and then they just stopped doing their job. Banshee does dodge the biles nicely. Unfortunately, these Marines going down this ramp. If Laminar raises the wall, she'll be okay. She's got to get that wall up.
Oh, did 420 raise it?
Uh-oh, she's in troubles. 2 BCs have started up, though, so that's a brutal counterattack. Heart needs to get a lot of damage done, because, yes, you're seeing 2 starports, but in the heat of the moment is Heart realizing. Heart does queue up 3 more queens, so I actually think Heart realizes exactly what they are up against. Heart doing great. The SCV stopped attacking, which I really enjoy. Laminar trying to preserve that economy, but as the Hellions die, this Banshee is just taking a bit too long to clear this up, and if that bunker was able to stay alive a bit longer, this would be a different story, but as it is, Laminar is being forced into a battle cruiser all-in attack. The Roaches even getting a couple of the mules.
Yeah, no economy here really for the Terran. I mean, there is still mining, but it's going to be paltry compared to what Heart has. And yeah, this is one of those situations where as a Zerg, I feel like there is no reason why you wouldn't drop like a ton of spores right now, because the only thing, after doing that much damage, the only thing that's scary to you is whatever's coming out of these starports, whether they be cloakless Banshees or whether they be BCs or whatever. So is there such a thing as over defending against the only thing the Terran has that can beat you? I don't think so.
And there's no spore on the natural Maynard. There's no spore in between the bases. This could actually kill. Heart needs to be really good at getting the queens. There's no creep between the bases. 1 queen already going down without a transfuse. Transfuses start to go down. But look at this. The BCs kick the crap out of these queens. I actually think Laminar needs to keep fighting. Laminar running away, but she's all in. She's got to win right here. She's got to do more damage.
Certainly does. These BCs got a lot more in them here, a lot more hit points, very heavily armored. The queens just tickling them.
Ooh, getting caught off creep, not good for those queens, and still no spore in the natural, no spores between these bases. More queens are building, but only 2. It really needs to be building non-stop queens and spores. There's so much minerals for Heart. Heart can take a few punches here, but as I said, battle cruisers are very hard to respond to. Dude, I think it was like TY or someone. I thought they were dead, and they did like a triple battlecruiser jump and actually won a game against a top Zerg pro in a similar circumstance. I think it was against Rogue even, like a few months back. So this is not something you can ever count out. These queens keep coming up with no creep between, all the spores building in the natural. And Heart needs to be patient. It's all about fighting behind your spore crawlers. But notice how the queens keep running in front of the spores. Oh, everybody, I think, loses to this the first few times. It takes a bit of experience before you manage to get your kind of feet underneath you, and big damage does go down. Is it enough from Laminar, though? I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, this hasn't gotten her back into the game. She's still alive, but you know, what needed to happen here for Laminar is what not only the BCs going across the map and doing damage, which they are, and it looks like they might get the 4th base as well, which is obviously nice, but I would say that Heart's still in a comfortable lead here. The BCs need reinforcements. If there was another 2 BCs showing up in a second here with a tactical jump, I'd feel really worried for Heart. But just Laminar has not had the minerals to reinforce those BCs just yet. She hasn't dropped the mules in the natural or in the main. We get a lot of energy on the orbitals in both the natural and the main base, and she's been making Hellions as well. So the Hellions could really effective here, like maybe diving in, messing with the Zerg, getting a ton of drones would be fantastic. But yeah, she hasn't been able to afford 2 starport BC, obviously, after going down to like 16 SCVs.
And this is a really common thing that happens as well, where you then rebuild your economy, start building more BCs, but I really want to see Laminar swap out. I don't want to see her continue to build BCs, because I feel like it's you know, you're going to have a massive response here from Heart. But here we go, Hellions coming in. They got to focus on the drones. They can't be fighting the queens. There's so many drones there. Ooh, she gets a big volley. She's going to go to the natural, but she's got to dive. I really think there's nothing on the ground to defend. Zergling, a slow Zergling counter is going to run into BCs and do absolutely nothing. I think Laminar may be missing an opportunity. A Hellion dive here would be perfect.
Yeah, it certainly was. And if you see a lot of units on your side of the map, chances are there's not a whole lot at home. And Queens, you know, that they can absolutely beat these Hellions, but they need to all be together.
Unfortunately, Laminar pulled her entire natural mineral line to repair those SCVs, and she didn't queue them back there. I guess she was worried about the wall off a little bit. But she's missing a lot of mules and SCVs in the chaos that Heart has forced on her. And oh my god, Maynard, 18 mutalisks on the way. Oh,
that'll do it.
That's what I was worried about. That's why I was hoping we saw a ground swap. She's doing it now, but I don't know if she's going to be able to get up the Thors or Cyclones or anything in time. I think those mutas are just too well timed.
Yeah, I really don't want to call it right now because I hate calling games early, but it really does feel like this is something that Laminar is woefully unprepared for and does look like a death blow. I mean, strategically, a great decision from Heart, but Laminar, you know, took extremely critical damage at the beginning of the game from that Roach Ravager attack.
Yeah.
And BCs aren't too bad against small clusters of mutas, but 18, 20 mutas, that's a different story. That's no bueno, as they say.
No bueno. Yeah, that's a lot of mutas. I mean, even when you've got enough BCs to fight them, BCs are like, it's kind of like defending mutas with carriers. Like, you can kind of push them away slowly, but they're always one step ahead. They're just a bit too fast. It's hard to get up there. 3 BCs going to fight. Master Repair, Master Repair. Labrador, she's got to pull the boys. Pull the boys. Get them over there to repair. She's trying to throw down turrets, but even with Master Repair, I don't know if she would have been able to do this. Nice focus fire from Heart as well. And is going to try and repair now, but that BC is a little bit over the dead space. The SCV is not repairing right now, and as the last BC falls, so that's a good game from Heart. Roach pressure into the Mass Queen, into Big Macro, into a big muta swap. This is really good anti-mech play from Heart.
I mean, you know me, Pig. I'm a big fan of BC mech. That's how I like to play this matchup. But you know, Laminar are tearing up my own heart. But this is, unfortunately, the tap. You know, so
yeah.
She's going to try and play this out. She's got the Heart of Lion. But when you're down 120 odd supply, mutas are in your main, and there is no reason for Heart to stop attacking here. Like these mutas are not going home. Heart would basically have to have their keyboard depower and mouse disconnect, or something like that, to have these Thors actually get what they need done. Even then, I think if the mutas stack up, they still might win the fight.
Yeah, definitely. The Lings are going to tear the natural wall down. I mean, just remember, Laminar's no doubt kicking herself. Just that one misclick with the SCVs at the start, not repairing the bunker, is such a bummer. And that's why, I mean, I have lost so many games in the same manner. It's actually... Oh, the muta stack!
Oh boy. Oh. Okay, Heart's doing it for the fans. He's like, oh, what if, though?
meaty, bloody fireworks, Maynard.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, there is such a thing as over-controlling things. There's the GG from Laminar. Oof. And Heart gets the victory there. First point on the board for Platinum Heroes.
Indeed. And this is, of course, a best of 7. So sorry, we didn't have the scoreboard up for that one. But no matter what happens, we play all the matches out. Me and Maynard cast all of them. So I will put the scoreboard up for the next map in this series. But yeah, nice win there by Heart. And it's so funny because it's like, it's so hard to deal with that. Once those Roaches and Ravagers get in there, it's like, oh my. I think maybe if she ran her BCs a little more decisively over the natural, because that's such a central point, it would have made it really hard for Heart to like group the queens up and could have got some more drones. But Heart had such a big economy. Like, she needed to kill each of those battle cruisers. Were like, oh, here's your work order for the day. Could you kill 7 queens each, 42 drones, a hatchery, and 3 spore crawlers? And the BCs are like, I don't know if I could do this. I've only got 500 hit points, guys. Like, there's only so much I can get done.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. It's definitely one of those games that you can learn a lot from as Laminar.
Yeah.
One of those losses where you can be like, you look at the replay and you're like, if I did this, if I did that, then wouldn't have been in the situation.
Well played, though. A good way to start things out there. Bit of action on both sides as we get towards the next. And let's go. Let's get right on into the second map here. All right, up in the top left, representing Platinum Heroes, it is Nickman.
Old Nickman. Nickman, of course, been excuse me. From the US of A. There we go. Promoted to Diamond 2. My man, well done. He's done well in his sets as well. Got a bit of a winning record this season. And let's have a look in the bottom right here. Our Zerg in the blue, representing ScSwarm, defending champs. This is Jadic.
I'm a simple man. I see Jadic, I giggle.
Like, you know, when you're at a restaurant and they say it comes with kumquats, sir, and you're just like, it's you know, some people, like clearly you and me, once we hit a certain age threshold, our sense of humor got locked in, and our bodies just age, and our brains do not.
Yeah, man. I mean, so. I don't know. I'm a simple man. What can I say? I'm a parting fan. I reckon Jadic probably is as well. I do like the little bit of information, by the way, about Nickman, our Terran player. Yeah, promoted to Diamond 2, 5-2 in sets, 5 consecutive wins in CTL. Best matchup is actually this matchup TVZ, so very happy to be matched here in another Terran vs. Zerg. And one of 2 survivors from last season's semi-final defeat to ScSwarm. Interesting point. Nickman uses max mouse sensitivity due to playing on a TV tray. So if we see a bunch of misclicks and questionable micro, we know why.
Well, we had a pretty effective early Roach Warren in the last game, and Jadic's going to try and emphasize here in this game as well. See if we can get a nice, quick victory there to try and even up the scoreboard.
And JDick, by the way, is a user of the core. Advanced hotkey setup, big idolization of Serral. Really like solid macro play and that sort of stuff. So JDick's definitely, and I got my eyes on it to see, but so far looks like opening up pretty aggressively. We got 6 Lings coming out. They see the Reapers there, so the Lings and the Reapers having a bit of a Mexican standoff, and Roaches coming out behind. And more Zerglings. Oh my god, this is the 3 Ravager all-in. This is the dirtiest all-in in the books, Maynard. It's going to be 3 Ravagers to 1,000 Zerglings. Dude, the amount of MMRs I have lost to this sort of build.
It's brutal. And it's one of those things that if you're going for a Reaper expand, you need to skip with the SCV. The Reaper is too late. And this Reaper, that Reaper's chilling at home, which is not doing any favors for Nickman right now.
Okay, Scan though. Scan is the main. Sees a Roach Warren, sees Lings coming out, and look at this. No, don't can't. Nickman, no, no. Don't sell the bunker on the high ground. He's trying to build one on the low ground, but you need to stay on the high ground against this. If you stay on the high ground, you are okay. But there's not that many Marines, and they're not all in the bunkers. So if Nickman moves the Marines to the low ground, it's just dead. The Reaper sees it, though. The Reaper sees it. Nickman abandoned the low ground. And you might be okay. So the only weakness is that bunker doesn't have the most repair space. But it's really hard for Ling Ravager to actually break the ramp. So, I mean, good denial of the bunker to SCV snipe on the low ground. Can Nickman already 4 SCVs pulled? No auto repair yet, though. Ooh, is going to have to do lots of manual repairing, and that's something you got to keep your eye on here. Auto repair really saves you a lot of APM in these scenarios. And look at the Ravager siege is so good.
Yeah, the Ravagers are doing their job here to start things off with. Obviously, it's extremely all-in for JDick, who's only on 16 workers. The Terran can stand to lose some here. Yeah, but it's all about holding onto that static defense and holding onto that ramp.
If those Lings get in, it could be a problem. There's 20 here with another 20 rallying across the map, but the Cyclone is now out. Dude, the Lings of the Ravagers are trying to force their way in. But look at that. The Cyclones, the Marines doing well. More SCVs pulling. Nickman has played such a good reactive strategic game here. I mean, especially in tournaments where you've got to be worried about cheesy builds. I love the choice to just drop a scan. Why not? Even gets a Ravager. Ooh, look at that. The command set is spotting for it. Seals the deal on that. There's no way you're breaking that ramp. I don't care how many Zerglings you have. JDick has to pull back.
Yeah, the Ravagers are what breaks open the wall here. Lings are so easy to hold as long as you have a wall in. You got the wall in SCVs to repair before the hit points go down. You're good. So this looks to be a hold for Nickman, who can now start to put his presence felt on the board here. Maybe get that Banshee across the map and answer fire with fire.
Still 42 Lings on the map, so Nickman's got to be careful about retaking the natural. I like the scouting command center. I like that. Just kind of poke it out front. Be like, yeah, let's not land this right now. And just... play it real careful from here. I mean, the number of Terrans are like, oh, survive. No, I could sell my bunker and move down. And I'm saying that voice. This is not me making fun of Nickman if that happens. This is me making fun of the, like I said, many times I have lost to this scenario. I have lost too many games where I thought I've won.
Yep.
Yeah, man, we've all done it.
Terran has lost this game.
Oh, my lord.
The Lings. So the Banshee has shown itself. I actually would have liked the Banshee to maybe just skirt around the Lings and just go straight to the Zerg. Just to be like, you know, because right now the Zerg's like, okay, what's my next phase? You're thinking about drones, you're thinking about making queens, making another hatchery, and then all of a sudden the Banshee shows up and like, oh no, my plan.
Yeah, definitely could be. That being said, I don't mind the very kind of just plodding and consistent and kind of, you know, you can't perturb me, you can't slow me down approach from Nickman, or it's like just macro. Build the depot, you know, get yourself out of the supply block, maybe start a 3rd command center. You've got Banshees kind of on defense duty so far in this game. They're just kind of looking around for now, making sure there's no run-bys. You've got tanks slowly moving to the low ground as well as bunkers, extra barracks going down. Big fan of how Nickman's playing this and trying to just kind of build an advantage from here. Just needs to make sure it keeps the macro going, and with those extra depots going, should avoid any future supply blocks. And I mean, it looks like JDick's like ahead on the workers now, yes, but no 3rd base, no tech, no evos, no upgrades. Whereas you've already got like tanks, Cyclone, Banshees. There's lots of very powerful units that scale a lot better for the Terran.
Yeah, that's you're not wrong. And we're wondering what the plan is. Okay, so it's just going to be bio for the Terran, going for the extra second and third barracks. We're going to get those medevacs out as early as possible as well. It's very early medevacs. But the barracks isn't even done yet, but we got more and more Marines on the way. The Zerg taking a bit of a breather as well. It seems like we have a bit of a lull in the action. Banshee's also kind of chilling on the south side of the map.
Absolutely, just being very chill from Nickman. I think it's the right response. How well does JDick take advantage of this lull, though? JDick's built a few roaches, has a few scouts out there. I think JDick's got to find comfort in this to just drone a bit harder and really use the time that's given, because Nickman was very disrupted. These barracks are going down kind of late. Yeah, there's a third CC on the way now, but, you know, Nickman hasn't really got the Marines and the stim going, right? It's this thing that happens where you deal with a push like this and you're like, oh, okay, I should build medevacs. And you're like, wait, like, I don't even have stim yet. So your build kind of gets muddled up, and it takes a while before you, say, have 2 medevacs of stim Marines stimming in and clearing creep tuners and doing damage and all that sort of stuff. So it's going to be a little while, and I like that. I mean, JDick is really taking advantage of it now, hitting that drone count for that third base. And the first counter pressure for Nickman comes out. And at this point, I mean, I was praising Nickman sitting back for a long time. I look at the workers now. I look at JDick's supply start to climb, and I'm like, oh, maybe you were right, Maydon. I think 2 Banshees, some form of harassment would have been great. It makes me feel very good as a Nickman and a Terran fan to see that drop moving across, because I think at least something to distract and slow down JDick needs to happen here.
Yeah, absolutely. An unchecked Zerg is the death of many a Terran. They do start to spread out of control quite fast. Creep spread, thankfully, not too much of a problem at the moment. You know, it's not a huge focus of JDick. Just trying to focus on his macro. Drops have come down from the north side. Ooh. It is time for the Terran to make their presence felt.
Hello. Medevac's taking a lot of damage from the Spore.
Yeah, same hockey.
Uh-oh. 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 Oh! Oh my god. 2 hit points. Jeebus. Oof. 6 Marines do survive, though, so not bad. Bit of a disruption there, and those are the sort of the moves that we wanted to see. 1-1 upgrades are on the way now for Nickman. Does have 3 barracks producing, tanks, medevacs, and is moving out to take that third. I mean, Nickman's got a big army. I'm wondering what Nickman focuses on, though. Are we going to commit to a push with 1-1? Because Shields has been forgotten, and the 4th and 5th barracks have been forgotten. And as I said, in this sort of game, because it just, the flow, the order is so different to normal, it's easy for Terran to forget some of those details. But as I say, Shield starts up. So apparently, I mean, remembering it earlier than most pro gamers do in their matches, to be honest.
Yeah. I've seen professional gamers start 2-2 upgrades before Combat Shield in some games. So
on the regular.
Yeah.
Oh my god. TVT especially, the matchup where that happens the most. But Banshee's coming in. That's a lot of drones.
Right, 6 drones. Not bad.
Ooh. Queens! JDick! What's JDick doing? Oh my god, those Queens. I think A moved them down here on the minimap, maybe, because they were just out of range of the Banshees and they were just standing there. So that thing, sometimes you think you've told your units to go close enough, you forget just how short their kind of aggro range is. So 12 workers go down. Those Banshees weren't going to be much use later. I think a great move from Nickman, who has got a giant army up. But even though Nickman's economy is great, Nickman does not have good production, right? Only 3 barracks still, not even a full 2 base production. So Nickman, I don't care how good Nickman is at queuing up behind this, you're not going to be able to spend your money. 4 barracks and 5th barracks do go down behind this. Big army coming across. Ling Roach going across the map. Ravagers left at home. JDick splitting the army in 2 different squads. Oh my god, it's like Ling Roach for the base trade and Ravagers to slow down the army on the front. This is actually a really smart split from JDick.
Does need to get, I mean, we can see that JDick is not aware of the fact that Terran is about to siege in range of that hatchery and low ground, though, and the Ravagers, oh no, they're going to the north side of the map.
Oh no! Oh my god, he's split the army. Oh, he's rejoining it now. Oh, okay. Does wisely give up the base as he's not ready to fight. Nickman with a beautiful snipe there. JDick has a lot of Ravagers. Oh my god! The Ravagers landing big piles on the tanks. The Marines, though, answering with those 1-1 upgrades. This is 0-0 Roach Ravager. They're so fat.
Nickman's got it. Nickman's got it. He takes the fight there. JDick just didn't have the amount that he needed. Like, that composition can definitely fight this army back. But you gotta get those surrounds. The Lings engaged before the Ravagers, and the Ravagers kind of moved commanded through the army a little bit. Really wanted to get rid of those tanks, which gave the Marines so many free shots off on those Ravagers. And this Ling reinforcement, this is it's coming up just against the meat grinder here as Nickman answers that cheese with a victory. And that's gonna be a 2-0 lead here for Platinum Heroes.
Brutal, brutal. Yeah, dude. 1-1 upgrades. I mean, those Marines were gunning down those Ravagers. We see Ravagers can look so good and they can look so fragile. Like, I think size of the unit on the screen to actual tankiness, Ravager is probably like the lowest ratio of any unit. Yeah. Maybe that and the Infestor are like tied as like big chunky boys that just pop.
I can't think of many things that are 3 supply, as expensive as they are, as big as they are, but die as fast.
Yes, it's this funny thing where it looks so scary, and it's like, that's why I remember Raynor doing an insane comeback versus Showtime, where Showtime just never got like Storm up, and Raynor would just not let him actually land hits with his Immortal Archon, and he had like 30 Ravagers and they just would not die, and I was like, if he just like messes up his micro for a moment, all these Ravagers disappear. But he just wouldn't let it happen. He made this disgusting comeback versus Showtime. I was like, no. And it's like, yeah, when they're handled correctly, Ravagers are so good, but they are a little bit of a glass cannon there. So that is an impressive victory, though, as that actually takes us to a 2-0 lead for PTHeroes.
That is indeed. And we are getting into a brand new series here. In the top right, we have got Character, the Canadian Protoss, Diamond 2 with Protoss and Terran, 7-0 in sets, unbeaten across 2 seasons. A big heavy hitter coming out here for our first Protoss in this series.
Damn. And down in the bottom left, representing ScSwarm, we have Coleslaw.
All right, everyone's favorite addition to a burger, or some chicken and chips. Everyone's favorite addition, a bit of that palate cleanser, a bit of that acidity. That's what you want to have. Coleslaw is apparently a nickname provided since grade 8. How do you get a nickname called Coleslaw? I guess maybe his name's Cole, and people just put slaw at the end, thinking they were the smartest person on the planet.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. Or maybe he's just, I don't know, he's sloppy. Has
a really hot take here. Thinks that Void Rays don't build fast enough.
I was just reading that, dude. How funny is that? Yeah, if you could, the question that was if you could change one thing about the game, what would it be?
Yeah.
What would you?
What I would do.
What requests did you have? Wash your hands as well. Wash your hands, guys. So some good advice from Coleslaw, especially if you've been eating coleslaw with your hands, which, let's be real, you'd have to be a monster to do. Yeah, you should absolutely wash it.
No one wants to shake hands or kiss with a guy that hasn't washed coleslaw off their hands or face. So the coleslaw can be a very messy meal.
Oh my god, dude! I just read the extra info on Character. 7-0 and sets, unbeaten across 2 seasons, but broke the wrist shortly before playoffs. What? But can still play with a broken wrist as long as it's playing Protoss instead of a hard race like Terra. Oh my god!
I mean, he says it like it is. This game's getting weird.
This is
we got a double Stargate
double
map from Coleslaw. And Character's going for a 3-gate, which this 3-gate makes...
Oh my god.
Like, I've seen this build before, but a double proxy Stargate I've never seen.
I've seen 2 Stargate in the back of the main. There's a lot of gas for Coleslaw. Is it enough, though? So you can never really support non-stop chronode production on 2-star, but it's almost like you have like 1.3 Stargates of actual production with the gas income, right? Like, it's like, it gets you just a few more, and I'm imagining it's going to be Void Rays. They're already rallied over there. We'll find out in a moment. Stalkers versus Void Rays. Void Rays absolutely annihilate Stalkers when they've got Prismatic Alignment turned on, but when that's not activated, it's not so good. Double chrono on the Void Rays. Now remember, Character doesn't know about the proxy. Character only knows, hey, this is a wall-in from Coleslaw. So I think all we know... Yeah. I mean... but I mean, you've got to attack with the Stalkers because you're committed hard. You haven't found the proxy. Likewise, Coleslaw has no idea what's happening. Coleslaw, you better rebuild that pylon. Coleslaw is going to get supply blocked. Is going to lose a pylon at the front of the base. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
This is rough.
Oh my god, he's already supply blocked, in fact, because Void Rays cost 4 supply. But wait, Character's going to lose the gateways. Warp Gate finishes, but has Stalkers queued up. Oh no, you're meant to be making Warp Gates right now. Oh my god. I think the Void Rays might depower all the production and win.
Maybe. This is getting very, very weird. I wonder if Coleslaw is going to ask for Void Rays to cost less supply next game.
Oh my god. What a troll.
God.
Oh my god.
And the Void Rays are just picking off pylons here. He just really wants the defenses depowered.
They're both supply blocked. I mean, the Void Rays beat 3 Stalkers. If character could have just walked in 1 or 2 more rounds, they'd be fine. And, oh, recalls the Void Rays home. I mean, that'll work. I'm not sure you needed to do that. I think you could have just killed everything and forced the base trade. A Nexus goes down for character, who's getting ready to abandon the main. The Void Rays accidentally attack their own buildable plate there and let the Stalkers escape. Oh my god. That's my analysis, Maynard.
Yeah, that's my analysis of this game as well. There are more Void Rays coming out of these Stargates again as Coleslaw unsupply blocks themselves. And a third Void has hit the field, and the more Void Rays, more problems here for character.
Oh, characters
still just trying to repower their production. Is still producing those Stalkers with Warp Gate done. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. All right.
Battery is good. If the Void Rays just click on the battery, though, they win. If they just target the battery down, they can win this fight. Don't fight the Stalkers. Go for the battery. Actually, they do so much damage, it doesn't matter. Oh, they cancelled their overcharge, though. I think the Void Rays are being a little careful here. Because now, look at that. Character's building the Stalk count. More batteries coming in. I don't think that Cybercore is going to die. I actually think character's going to stabilize here. We're going to see mass Stalker versus mass Void Ray.
I think killing the Cybercore does just straight up win you the game here, but you know he really wants it. The wheels are spinning in Coleslaw's brain, but going for something like that is lights out. But it's so heavily defended, you got to go for the you know, this is like trying to kill the boss in an RPG instead of killing the ads. You know, got to kill the thing that's healing the boss, not the actual boss itself. Oh god.
Pull that Void Ray to the back, maybe. Oh, battery's being built on the low ground, so Coleslaw wants a battery fight. I mean, character built their own Stargate, but I actually think going your own Void Rays here is worthless. Because there's going to be so many more Void Rays from the opponent. Phoenix, not bad. Phoenix, because they don't die very quickly to Void Rays. They can add some damage, but the Sentries aren't really adding anything yet. And I honestly think these Void Rays could just A-move. If they just turn on Prismatic Alignment, I don't think there's enough. But the only problem I'm seeing is that Coleslaw's been a little hesitant to commit to the fight and keeps kind of going for the Cybercore. I think there's no way character can defend, but with Prismatic Alignment gone, character can hold. So a wise, careful pullback from Coleslaw. Can't go too deep.
And needs to heal up with these shield batteries here. Boy, you know, this Void Ray opinion here of Coleslaw is clearly because he's a master of using them. Like, this is just a guy that has them as a staple of they are a larger part of his food pyramid, as it were.
Yes, the top, bottom, middle, every part of the food pyramid is Void Rays. Maybe there's like one little tier, it's just below the top of the pyramid. That's shield batteries that go in there just to complement a healthy diet of 99% Void Rays. Coleslaw, I mean, this is... I kind of think about this in terms of your long-term development and enjoyment as a StarCraft player, and it's like being one of those weirdos who lives off a diet of just Coleslaw. It's strange, it's weird, but by golly, it's more effective than you'd think. Just making Void Rays is pretty darn good.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the Void Rays, honestly, with Prismatic Alignment, could just, I feel like, man mode down these Stalkers. Yeah. They don't need to... there's a little bit of micro here and there, but it's at that point where the Void Rays have kind of reached critical mass. Could be making more Void Rays, absolutely. Like, there could be another one here that is microing those things around at the moment. There's another one. There we go.
Good fight from behind for character, but just not scouting those Stargates. And the Void Ray damage, especially at depowering pylons and buildings. I mean, look at how quickly they kill stuff. At this point, it kind of feels like Coleslaw's almost playing with his food a little bit. Obviously, he just wants to be careful and secure the win, but he's just all over it. Too many Void Rays, too much damage. A Void Ray! A Void Ray died, bringing it up to 3 Void Rays have gone down for about 1,000 of characters' units, unfortunately. Battery overcharge ain't going to do much. The probes are trying to run away as well, and I mean, this feels like trying to run away from the rays of the sun. It is futile.
Yeah, and the Stalker's been warped in, which unfortunately slow warp in as well because the pylon's a little too far away from the Nexus. And that is, unfortunately, a bit of a painful game for character, but it looks like it's going to be a W for Coleslaw. I don't see how he loses this one.
Yeah, I do admire both players for just committing hard to a very fierce timing attack. It's a good way to play a tournament game, but when neither of you scouts, poo does sometimes hit the fan, and you get to see who kind of scrambles better in that scenario, and I think character was just a little too slow to repower those gateways.
Well, this does mean that ScSwarm's got their first point in the board, which is important because they are the reigning champs, and they're currently still down the series after that map win, but at least it's a 2-1 and not a 3-0, which would be very uncomfortable.
Indeed. I think it's always good to see some cheesy builds clash into each other. The next one's going to be another Zerg versus Terran as well, so lots of non-mirror matchups so far today, which is good. Lots of exciting ones. And, we've actually got a a Shopify fan, Shopify employee, in fact, playing in our next match. So we've got an interesting matchup here. It's going to be a UK up against Canada, I would imagine. Then I'm guessing probably Canadian if it works for Shopify, but they are a giant company, so who knows? Let's go into that next map.
Oh, yeah. Well, up in the top right here, representing ScSwarm, this is Future Knights, the Shopify employee, as you mentioned, even rocking that Shopify green for the Rebellion. Apparently a developer at Shopify, as you said, and been playing since a few months after Harvest Swarm came out in 2013. Damn. Been playing for a long time.
Yeah, remembers that Nexus cannon, no doubt, with good thoughts and good memories, I'm sure, as most Zergs do. The opponent, though, in the bottom left, this is Selbster. Purple Terran from the UK. Nearly 4k MMR has been moving up, of course. For those who don't know, we are moving up in the MMR range. So this one is 30, actually Future Knights is only about 3.4k MMR, the Zerg, whereas Selbster is 3.9. Yeah. A 500 MMR difference. This is one of the bigger ones we're running into in this. And the best matchup, though, is actually TVZ for Selbster. Doesn't like playing versus Protoss. And unfortunately, though, Selbster is a person with very poor taste, because Selbster did used to be in Taste the Bacon Pig Pan, and then they moved over to...
Well, I was about to mention that that move. I'm just like, it clearly got fed up with the tyrannical dictatorship that is the Pig Pan.
Look!
Before going to the paradise utopia that is Platinum Heroes.
Yeah, sure. Go to your... Yeah, I mean, that's what everyone who says. They go live in a commune. Yeah, everybody fucking... Oh, yeah, go hang out.
The streamer scorned.
Like, Jesus. Selbster's like, it's okay. Now I just hang out with my Platinum Heroes. I mean, yes, the guy who's the king of our Platinum Heroes, he does technically get the right to marry and bang all my daughters and wives, but, you know, it's okay. I'm like, yeah, join your shitty cult. People are like, oh, a benign dictatorship's so bad. I'm sorry, but... Gaddafi in pig form is not that bad. An effective dictator. Yes, I'm a bit of a dick, but I run things okay. And Selbster is just a dirty, bloody traitor, you know?
Yeah. Traitor. Oh, wow. Traitor to the pig pan. And, I mean, clearly would never be welcome back. Is this the third game in a row we've had a Roach Rush? We're ignoring the PvP, but we do have a very early Roach Warren from Future Knights and very early Roaches.
This is a very early, I think this was 14 pool Ravager Rush on one base. Now, Selbster scouted Sorno Expo is going for the low ground bunker. Uh-oh. That ain't going to work too well. You got to be, I mean, against some things this works, but I don't think you're going to get up enough units in time. Honestly, the way that you defend this is such an old school build, so Selbster probably hasn't played against it much in years, is you need like 2 bunkers on the high ground, and you're probably going to lose them both, like as the tank or cyclone pops that barely saves your bacon. But Selbster going to try and micro his heart out. Of course, there's always the chance if you pull SCVs, they can surround the Ravagers. There's just not that many units for the Zerg, right? It's all about each Ravager has to micro its goddamned heart out, and oh no, Selbster, bunker's empty right now. Ravagers are running in. Oh, they focused a Marine before it even got in there. Nicely done by Future Knights.
Yeah, I mean, a bunker is one thing, but a bunker with units in it is another. And as long as you don't have that to worry about, it's already looking quite rough. The Ravager's getting in there. Oh, indecision with the add-on. Looks like maybe he was going for a reactor, went for the tech lab instead.
Oh
might be
my
a
God.
little bit too late here from Selbster.
Selbster's
Future Knights.
Yeah. I mean, the Reaper, where is that Reaper? He's coming home and skirmishing with a Ravager, but it's just Drilly Boys and a single Marine. That Marine goes down. The one base Ravager just paying off huge here. Oh my Lord. Future Knights pulling out the juiciest all-in.
Yeah, and whatever pops out of these production facilities is going to meet a Ravagery fate. It's, you want your Marine to die, tank to die. I mean, this tank's going to pop, but it's going to actually, wow, really thread the needle on that bile there. Hit the Marine. This tank, when it pops, is just in big trouble. It's looking like it's all Future Knights here. The one base Ravager all in.
It's just a brilliant choice as a clear hard all in. And I mean, Selbster saw that it was one base, but just didn't quite respect and appreciate it. This happens. I've had it happen to me because when you don't play against a Zerg one base, you forget just how hard they can hit. And it's so rare. People will do pull first, Ravager pressures that hit like 30, 40, 50 seconds later, and it's just a different thing. You have time to get a tank, a bunker, and all this. In this scenario, though, the one base, I mean, nice micro on the tank, but Selbster unable to defend the one base Ravager.
And just like that, Platinum Heroes' great opening to this series has been upset by giving him a little bit of a taste of their own medicine with that Roach Rush. Future Knights tying things up for ScSwarm to a piece.
Indeed. I saw a pig with laryngitis. He was disgruntled.
Oh.
Very funny, Keen Blizzard. Very funny. I like it. I like some bad puns coming in the chat. Why did the man fall down? Because he couldn't see that well.
Oh. You know, jokes that actually like are so bad that they kind of like smell.
You can smell the bad joke.
Yeah, like it could be my brain having a stroke or like cells dying, and I'm just smelling the discharge. But
smells like a 3-day-old gut wound.
Yeah. like milk left in a bag in the sun on the front porch.
All right, well, we're going into the next one. The series is tied up, everybody, here for the Chobo Team League Grand Finals, and I always like to see a close series. Now, for those of you who like to spread disinformation campaigns about 5G towers and all the rest, you got to watch out. You can't trust everything on the internet because some of it is just Papa Panda.
But in the top left, what benefits the most from those 5G towers is the product from ScSwarm in the green. And you know what, Pig? I was just thinking we haven't had enough Zergs in this tournament.
Oh!
I'm so whoa! The Evo Chamber gas block. This is the mana block here, the mana chamber from Papa Panda.
What's cool about this is ScSwarm has also gone back to what makes ScSwarm great, which is just all-in timing attacks, right? It's always been. They're so organized with learning their builds. Unfortunately, the product needs to pull the drones to the other side, and they can actually mine with very little disruption. But Papa Panda gives it up, lets it go. Now, what Papa Panda hopefully... Oh, Papa Panda's so dead. He's going 3 hatch before. Papa Panda is not looking at the scouting at all. So this is not just a hatch gas pool. So Papa Panda's like, hey, it's a hatch gas pool. But this is not. This is a 14 hatch, 14 gas, 14 pool. This is like a complete speedling all-in from product who's only going to build 1 queen. Probably mass speedlings, pull off gas at 100 in a moment, and just do a speedling all-in. As I say, that 3 drones power up. Never mind. It's just a really weird build from the product.
Okay.
I'm like, I take it all back. This build makes no sense.
The spawning pool finishes, and you're like, Zerglings come out now, right? And just queens, Pig. Just queens. Don't get too excited now.
What? This is such a weird build. The product maybe was planning it and then decided because it got scouted to not do it. That actually, maybe that's the thing is, oh, you scouted it. But Papa Panda didn't actually pay attention to the scouting. And Papa Panda has done the greediest build of all time in this 3 hatch revolt pool. So I'm already liking Papa Panda because this is just such an out there. I am going to Evo block. I'm going to take a 3rd hatch. Like, I'm going to be annoying. But the product is like, I can be flexible too, D-Bag, and is going for a super fast lair. So like maybe either a 2-base Nidus, maybe a 2-base Muta, and we're going to see a clash of giant economy versus very fast tech.
Yeah, and speaking of which, there it is on the way for the product. Papa Panda is still on equal drones, but obviously with that 5 popping out, is that thing? Things are going to change. Evo Chamber's coming out. Just, is there such a thing as greed cheese?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the description here is this because Papa Panda's from Taiwan. They actually think he might be Haas Zerg off race from the way he plays. Apparently, so apparently Evo blocks into 3 extra 4 pool is like just that's pretty normal for Papa Panda.
I feel like if Haas played Zerg, there'd be a lot more like hatcheries in your natural early roach warrens.
So Papa Panda actually, by the way, also has a special love of Ursidons, one of the critters on many of the maps, and loses a little bit of life force every time an Ursidon dies. So I like that Papa Panda is our kind of Peter Zerg player, cares for the animals and the critters on the map. None of this going around and just killing them. So, a kind human.
Indeed. The worm from down under. Man of taste and culture.
Ooh, okay. Okay, 29 drones, just 2 gases. So, yeah, basically... Wait. Oh, mass speedling coming, though, from Papa Panda. That's going to be good against this. As long as you're building fighting units, you're going to be in a good spot. Papa Panda, I think, maybe realizing with that fast Roach Warren, or is just planning to do a Ling Flood themselves. This game could get very weird. If those Lings flood across the map as the Nidus Worm pops up, things are going to get strange.
Certainly. I mean, the game's already started out strange. Let's make it go strange into the mid stages. We do have the Lings on the left side, shift-clicking their way in. Ooh. And, oh man, there is actually 11 roaches about to pop here for the product. So these Lings might find themselves a little bit more of an anti-timing as they meet a wall of roaches. Oh. But if all the roaches are inside the butthole,
Yeah, you got to unload that worm real quick and actually swap to defense right now. Product is focusing on doing a Nidus offensively and is like, wait, what the hell is going on? The Roaches and Queens pop out. Transfuse! Oh, the Queens are actually going to die to the Lings. Oh my god, they all barely survive on almost no hit points.
And the Nidus Worm is up. There's a Overseer near the main base where the product can threaten Papa Panda's main, but this kind of looks like it's the Roaches might just get it done walking through the natural here, and they need to go across the map because they got themselves first-class tickets into Papa Panda's natural.
Yeah, Papa Panda really needs to pull back and wait for more units to pop out, but right on top of the rallies is the product getting the Spine Crawler, Transfuses going down, even Overlord's going down. Uh-oh. This is gonna be a problem for Papa Panda. So many Roaches and Queens on top of the rally. The Roach Warren going down as well. A little Ling backstab's gonna try to go in to buy time. I don't know, though. There's no drones to even kill on the natural. There's not many targets for them to find.
This is already looking kind of lights outy for Papa Panda, who did have that Roach Warren up but lost it in the natural. That's where the tech was. And in the main base, the defenses are looking a little thin here. That's just too many Roaches from the product.
Ooh. Oh my god. Here we go. Roaches and Queen coming on in. The drones, the Roaches, the Queens all trying to fight here. You've got a lot more workers as Papa Panda. If you can defend, then you're okay. But that is a big if, because there's 3 Roaches versus about 16 there. And that is a hard fight. Every single drone gets pulled. And the product even going to reinforce with the Nidus Worm into the battle.
Yeah, bringing in the Nidus to reinforce the main base. Maybe a little bit of overkill, but doesn't matter. The Roaches did take a lot of damage from that drone drill with the Lings sitting amongst it as well. The drone's kind of blocking the Lings there a little bit for Papa Panda. But we're back in, and products, it looks like on the precipice here of getting the 3rd win in a row for ScSwarm.
Indeed, ScSwarm down 0-2, coming out with a big old comeback to try and get things back going very well for them. Zergling Big Wave pops out for Papa Panda. It's his last money, as there are no drones left on the map for Papa Panda. And those Lings are going to go for a little bit of a backstab, bit of a base trade, realizing, hey, if I can't win this fight, maybe I can win a base trade or something. They clean up the Nidus Worm at the front. The lair is gone. Papa Panda has 1 spine in the 3rd, a couple buildings scattered around, and 8 more Zerglings on the way. Back at home, the product has nothing but drones, and is still rallying to the Nidus Worm. He's going to need to unload some Roaches. Otherwise, that Nidus is going to have trouble. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, you don't want to lose all these Roaches. Product.
Certainly do not.
Broodlings fight pretty well, though, and the drones as well. Join the battle, and just not enough Zerglings, I don't think. The Roaches plus drones together should be able to defend this just barely.
Yeah, it's looking like... Oh. Papa Panda's Lings are kind of chilling in the main base at the moment.
They're just catching their breath, mate. They've been running a sprint, you know. Their cardio ain't that good. They find a random Queen down in the corner. And the Lings running back and forwards in a bit of panic, but these Roaches are going to be able to seal the deal. I mean, the product is pulling home right now, just in panic. Is like, God damn, what are these Lings doing? Deal with them.
The win condition of StarCraft is killing your opponent's structures, and there's only 3 of them left for Papa Panda.
And they're bleeding as well, except for the... Oh, there's an extractor, actually.
There's an extractor, yeah. 2 extractors.
Coming back. Papa Panda fought hard, fought well, but in the end realized, oh, okay, we just can't do it. GG's. Damn.
GG. ScSwarm 3 wins in a row, and they're on match point again. I was worried for the reigning champs. I'm like, Platinum Heroes, it's their first final, I think, and they're looking good. Starting things off with a 2-0, but
Indeed, a very nice turnaround there in this as we get higher and higher and going up into the higher end of Diamond. For our next match, another Zerg versus Terran. Will this one make it past the early Roach Rush is the question on all of our tongues.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I mean, if this is a game without a Roach Warren, then I'm going to be like, what game is this? Is it StarCraft 1? Is it the game that doesn't have the Roach Warren? Why aren't they making it?
I know. Well, we'll have to find out. It's going to be Submarine, so it's pretty likely to make a Roach Warren. I'm saying I see Submarine. That's what I'm thinking of.
It's good old Submarine, man. It's like seeing an old friend.
Indeed, it is. All right, well, let's get on into it. Down here in the bottom right-hand side, they are now leading 3-2 in the red. This is ScSwarm's Lambda. Coming in at just under 4k MMR.
She's knocking on the door of 4K. Not quite there, only 4 points off. So close, so tantalizingly close. Is apparently a sometimes VTube streamer. So check out the Twitch stream there for Lambda, that intermittently is a software writer and likes to dance with nunchucks as a workout. Could potentially be the coolest girl alive.
I'm just her description is amazing. Sometimes VTube stream with an anime girl avatar because I am terrified of humans seeing my true form, which is far more anime and far more girl than they can handle. so funny.
That's it.
Nice. And of course, the opponent up here in the top left-hand side, another UK player, a Terran. This is, oh god,
Veils.
It is Veils, because I think we cast Veils once before. I feel like I've had the same dilemma where I'm like, Veils? I think just Veils is fine, right?
I think it's Veils.
Yeah.
Maybe. Just because I read that, there's the part of the world called Wales.
Yeah. I live in New South Wales, so.
New South Wales, that's right.
Yeah. Down here in Australia.
Australia.
Ooh, wait. Veils. Submarine. You're playing against ScSwarm. You don't SCV Scout? You mad lad. Veils also went Command Center before Orbital, so a slight kind of twist around there. Command Center will be up earlier, which means it's easier to defend, but that's a fast Roach Warren. Lambda looks exactly like the Lambo 4 Roach build. This looks identical to that 4 Roach build that Lambo has a YouTube tutorial on. Lambda just needs to remember to make an Overlord right now, and it starts here. This is literally it to a T. This is the exact build order.
Yep. Has dotted the I's, crossed the T's, and about to bring out the Ravagers, if you please, for Veils, who is, like you said, playing Submarine a little bit too cavalier here. A little too greedy.
Oh,
Link
2
showing
links
up
come
for
in.
that SCV.
Always a bummer when that happens. I mean, there's an early reactor up behind this, but that means there's no Marine behind this Reaper. So definitely a bit of a hard situation. And Veils SCV going to lead those Lings on a bit of a walkabout. Hey guys, hey, come get some snacks.
Hey,
come
girl,
get some snacks. Oh, the Lings back off. Nope, they go back for it. They can't make up their mind. 5 Roaches are already on the way, and they're popping, though. And that's what this is all about. I mean, even getting a bunker up in the low ground. I do like that there's Marines building out of this fast reactor. I think this is very smart from Veils. If you hit the Marines nonstop, you've already got a tech lab on this finish, go straight for a Cyclone or a tank. Like, I do think it's more important to get the bunker up and repair it. The problem is there's no SCVs down here to repair. So
there needs to be some SCVs down here for sure. I agree with you completely. Like the SCV count down on the low ground, like the ability to repair this bunker, that thing's going to disappear, this bunker. It's going to David Copperfield that thing with the Ravagers.
Maybe Lambda will not focus fire as quickly. There's a Cyclone on the way, more Marines building, but they're not here just yet. Veils, I think it's time to pull to the high ground, try and get some of these units out of here. The bunker's going to fight. SCVs are being pulled. It's going to commit. Veils, oh, you know what? The SCVs doing their work. 1 Roach is going to fall. A lot of SCVs already have gone down. The Roach is just focus firing the SCVs. Lots of drones coming down, so it's not an all-in. Cyclone is here. Veils is actually going to pick off one of those Roaches. Could even raise the door. Wow, a very nice hold. Veils did that really well.
Yeah, we were like, oh, bringing your SCVs down here, man. You did a little bit later, and you can stand to lose some SCVs and be fine here as a Terran. And also correctly identifying that that was just pressure from Lambda. Yeah. There is a drone behind this. This isn't an all-in build. In fact, with the Cyclone, has the ability to catch these Roaches. The power of the Cyclone here against a rush like this.
This is really a mistake, these last 2 Roaches as well, because they got built not early enough to join the push, but early enough to trickle over and then die in the chase back. So Veil's doing some really good counter pressure, and this, right when Lambda wants to be droning, is forced to make more Roaches. This is so bad for Lambda. The Cyclone Reaper Marine counter attack. I mean, this is a really nice counter from Veils. Has already got a second barracks building Marines up behind this as well. And, ooh, doesn't quite get the Overlord. Drones being forced off the line, though, and I think Veils doesn't need to do damage here, but it's just like, hey, why not? I got a couple Cyclones. It's making a 3rd Cyclone. Veils, though, tunnel visioned on the counter a bit, right? Do we really want to go mass Cyclone with 3 racks? Because you're definitely not playing mech. You're playing bio here. And I think Veils now is going to start to focus on that macro.
Yeah, starting to switch around, and was going to get a tech lab on that barracks as well, but just realized, oh, no, I can just grab the tech lab on the factory there and switch the factory off to something a little bit more convincing. So clearly does not want to play tank, I don't think, is what we're seeing. The
Cyclones are very good for picking away at these units and being annoying, but the Marines and the Reapers are kind of bad. So, yeah, this is a weird scenario where it's like you're kind of forcing Lambda to just keep making Roach Ravager, You better get a bunker and a tank up behind this, I would say. Like, get the Marines home, just use the Cyclones. But I'm starting to dawn on me that I think Vales might be a bit of an F2 addict because just the way those units are running around in a big old clump, I kind of go, ooh, I feel like these units should all be used separately, right? You know, the Reaper's a scout, the Cyclones are harassment, pick-off range unit, and the Marines are like, I don't know, what do you call an unupgraded Marine? They're kind of just an impotent dude who just stands there and watches. They don't do much until they get their stim upgrades.
Yeah. I mean, the unupgraded Marines are boys, and the upgraded Marines are men, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
Well, kept the economies low, right? So both players are kind of trapped in this lower economy game where they've both been building a lot more units. And these games are really hard to judge from both sides, because, like, who can take a fight and when? 4 Cyclones as well? Like, what? And it's now queuing up a tank, but, like, 4? This is such a weird position to be in. I don't know how the fights will go. I'm looking at it. I don't know. I'm like, whose army's better? I think the Terran's a little better, but you add a few roaches and that changes. One or two bio-connects, it changes.
Yeah, you're right. And I mean, the plus sides here for the Terran is that there isn't a ton of creep spread from Lambda. There's not, you know, a lot of queens either. But the plus side is, like, if Vales shoots up to the north side with the Cyclones, that third base is free. You can pick that off. Oh man, yeah, is F2ing like a champion here, Vales. The Reaper is the flag to send all the units to rally and hug it. Yeah.
Double eBay is up in the back, but no gas, not enough gas yet. So Vale's running into that gas shortage, making a planetary on the 3rd as well. So a very, very peculiar play here to go heavy Cyclone Marine, and just the way Vales is constantly moving the army around tells me that Vales is, like, really competent at fighting, right? Likes to fight. But I wonder what happens in the next stage, because I don't think many of these units scale into an attack very well. I've got to say hats off for the tanks, because I think the tanks are the most important part, because it feels like Lambda is like, oh, Roaches and Ravagers. Sometimes I make some more drones, then I make more Roach Ravager. You know, like, it's like this Zerg is gonna Roach Ravager you at some point, and you better have a good tank defensive position or you're just gonna get wiped out. But I kind of feel like the way Vales is moving the army around, even though the tanks are coming out, that's good. I feel like Vales is going to go gift a fight to Lambda. Now, if you get a really good angle, it's good, but it's always dangerous to attack into Roach Ravager, especially once that Roach speed kicks in. So Vales moving around the map, this is a wild maneuver, and Loki's saying, watch out, man! Watch out, Roach Ravager!
Vales, look out! 9 Overlords just finished for Lambda. She's got the supply cap now to play with.
Yeah, Lambda's got a big army. She's looking really good now, so... Oh, she's going to just do a big backswing. I think this is better for her than Vales. Oh, but it's a planetary. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I forgot that's a planetary. I was like, this is normal, so that's going to go down. Nope. I mean, the downside of the planetary is that it does not get lifted. It's not getting repaired either. Vales F2ing back home. The F2 champion, he's at it again.
Okay, Vales has got plenty of tanks and units, though, and those Ravagers do not have upgrades. 1-1's not ready just yet. Oh, it's a sandwich. Lambda, she steps into a sandwich. She's got to get out of there. Tank siege on all sides and get a few dreadful volleys off on her. Absolutely devastating damage. This one tank on the high ground, she's got to pull back to her side of the map. That roach speed finally kicks in. She's got to get out of there. She gets a cyclone or two, but that's a lot of stim bio. She turns, takes the concave. A nice angle, but she does not have the numbers, I don't think. Oh, more roaches come in. Great biles as those stims wear off. There's not too many medevacs, but she cannot fight in range of the siege tank. So wise pullback from Lambda, who, of course, is down in the upgrades, but she's still got a very big mobile army. If she can catch these tanks, she's still got a chance to win. This bio is very bruised. Vales getting very excited, wants to counter push. I don't know if it's the right call.
I mean, maybe Vales feels like they are economically pressured to try and make something happen here. Yeah, the Zergs ahead a little bit in workers, but there is a lot of army, and if the Terran pulls into the creep spread, then all of a sudden concaves are very easy for Lambda.
Yeah. Oh, she's got all the tanks.
Pick up the tanks.
Oh, she got every single tank. The Marauder's going to have to try and stim home. And dude, I'll tell you, when there are people vomiting acid on you and you have to inject a needle into your thigh just to try and get home faster, you are in big trouble. Your evac should have been the one getting you out of there. And Vales does commit to that push, not quite able to break Lambda. Lambda, she's still on 0-0, but she starts her 1-1. If she can snipe that third that's rebuilding, now she is miles ahead.
Yeah. And we got a lot more Ravagers joining in for Lambda as well on the front line, and not going to let that third come down again. Vales trying to get it on location, hoping that the attack left it open.
Cancel. Ooh, last second.
But still, 2 bases, no third on the way. This is looking incredibly good for Lambda. Even with just 60-odd drones, it's about to become 70-odd though.
That isn't
getting harder and harder for Veils.
That's a giant economy. I mean, she's building 15 more workers. She doesn't have anywhere to mine, so that is a bit of a mistake. I think you can tell the adrenaline's running high for both players. This is one of those games where it's been so action-packed. You're like, both players are probably struggling to read. Wait, what situation is this? Like, what do I do from here? So I think she definitely can grow bigger. She's got the 4th and the 5th base going down, so she's got all the next pieces coming in. But I actually like that Veils is like, look, I know I'm behind. I'm on heavy Marauder, but I'm going triple factory tank now. So he's basically saying, look, I'm crossing my fingers for Lambda to chuck a Zerg. And that is the maneuver where the Zerg has the map. They've got all the money in the world. And he's saying, I'm hoping you only make roaches and you ram them into a defensive tank position. Like, and I'm banking on you doing that because he's not going to be able to do a push for the next 10, 15 minutes of this game. He's hoping that she takes some really bad fights.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely possible. You know, this game looks really bad for Veils at the moment. And don't get me wrong, it looks really good for Lambda. But the blood is pumping. You know, Lambda right now, she's probably feeling the adrenaline. She knows her team right now is on match point as well. If she wins this game, she wins it for ScSwarm. Yeah. They are the champions again, 2 seasons in a row. She's going to be working out super hard with probably double fisting nunchucks right after this game, I'm sure.
It's a good workout, but you do have to be careful. If you do too much of a nunchuck dance routine, it can sometimes actually mean your muscles are a bit sore for your micro the next day when you go into that tournament. So I'm hoping Lambda did not overtrain with that, but oh my god, she's going full NA. 23 Ravagers. She is going to try and just swing the hammer and smash Veils out of this game. Oh my god.
Yep, coming in with a big old bile hammer here. The tank on the left side going to get bile down easily. 3 tanks, maybe 4 tanks there.
Oh my god.
5th tank on the high ground, a 6th tank on the high ground.
Oh my god. The biles. The tanks are all falling. But the Ravagers do not have an overseer. They cannot see the tanks on the high ground. And that was an absolute slaughter. Veils losing a lot of tanks, but Lambda does lose her entire army. I think you could actually argue that's not too bad for Lambda. I know it was a terrible cost for cost trade. She just lost 1 billion Ravagers, but she's on 5 base. He's barely taking his 3rd, and she's whittled down his tank count. She killed a lot of bio and depots. He's almost supply blocked right now, but he's catching up and even going ahead on upgrade soon. He's going to go for a counter push. And I think, honestly, this plays into our hands. I think he needs to defend another fight like that before he can push. He's going to try and attack. She's got so much Roach Ravager. She's got so much gas mining. She can reproduce at an alarming rate.
Yeah, big old counterattack here with a stem bio. Of course, all the stem bio is coming back from that natural because you have to F2 stem pig. You don't box stem. You don't hotkey stem. You F2 stem. Every fresh unit out of those barracks is getting the injection there.
The fact that Lambda took her gases and transferred drones to her 4th, that's what gives me real big faith in her position. I mean, she's a little oversaturated on her natural, but her income overall has just been maintaining a beautiful curve upwards, and now it's like just solid at 70+ worker economy is very stable. Veils is like, all right, triple tank, 2/2 bio. He doesn't even have much bio. He's mostly investing in just tanks right now, which is the right call because she's only on Roach Ravager. And the thing is, if she's a Roach Ravager expert, she doesn't know how to make broods or something like that or vipers. She might struggle if this goes long enough, right? So Veils is just trying to hang on. He's like, come on, fight for dear life. Siege tanks, please do this for me.
Veils wants another attack like what Lambda just did a few moments ago. And
she's going to go for it.
Left there, she might just give it to him.
Oh, I mean, she's still got a pretty good angle, but she's a bit clumped there. Oh, ow, 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 ow. Oh my god, Veils with the mass tank. Yeah, he's making the right call, and she's still on pure Roach. So, honestly, if she was, like, started melee and swapped into Ling Bane, like, there's no Marines, there's no mines. Matt, like, if you get 80 Zerglings here with 1/1, you actually kill this army. It's insane how specialized Veil's army is, and that shows he's a good strategy player because he is countering her army, but he once again goes across the map, and whenever he does that, that's when she takes good fights.
Oh no, turn and fight now, though. Oh my god, so many tanks.
Ooh. Yeah, it's easy to think you've killed all the tanks, and there's another 6 behind it. Triple factory tank is a real thing, Maynard. This is a powerful army. She's making a Spire. She's thinking about swapping into Mutas, maybe, or Broodlords. I think for now, just Roach Ravager is okay. She doesn't have Ling speed. If she even just had a handful of Lings to get on top of the tanks, to pull tank shots away from the Roach Ravager, it would be good. I think the main thing in these next battles as the tank count grows is she's going to need to come from 2 sides. Like, she can't run forward in a clump. She needs to, like, pre-spread, come from multiple angles, or the tank splash is just going to grow too much. This is 8 siege tanks. It's so many Marauders as well. Very good versus the Roach Ravager. She's going to try and jump on top. Nice biles. She gets 1 siege tank out front. But this is just such an impressive comeback from Vales. We thought Vales was dead in this game, but he is fighting for his team's life, and he is going to keep going. The tank's leapfrogging forward. He's trying to siege very deep. She's going to try and jump on it, but her roaches are move commanded there. They're clumped a little. I don't think she's got the numbers. Vales with the goddamn comeback. I cannot believe it. The triple factory tank. I cannot believe this worked. Vales countering her army flawlessly.
Absolutely. The triple factory ended up being a godsend. Going heavy on the Marauders here for Vales. Absolutely the right call. Lambda, you mentioned it before, went very NA. Just focused completely on Roach Ravager for a little bit too long. And the Terran got ahead in upgrades. Had that defensive, the position was entrenched. It was just like, please just jump on my spear. I'm holding out this spear. Please jump on it. And Lambda just gave it to him, not once, not twice, but thrice. She jumped upon that spear and has been impaled and bleeding out on the ground for ScSwarm. Vales now getting the win for the Platinum Heroes, and it looks like we're going to get a match point.
Once again, as the game ended, Discord just hitched for half a second. I'm so confused, Discord. Right. You're a ridiculous app. You're absolutely right, and no shame on Lambda, because this is not. I was like, oh, she's, he's hoping she'll chuck a Zerg and attack into the tanks. Just remember, guys, Raynor did that against Maru in the first 2 games at Katowice, our world champion. Literally kept impaling himself on siege tanks. So this is, I call it chucking a Zerg, not because I'm memeing on low-level Zergs. It's also, sometimes we want to hit our attacks, and sometimes we get a little bit too rigid. And it's just, it happens where you're like, well, I've got to keep making these units and break. And I actually didn't mind the first Ravager attack, but it just, he just, that triple tank production. I don't think she was expecting the tanks to rebuild that fast. Who would? Normally, you trade the tanks out. Your next wave is good. She's like, how do you have 6 tanks? How do you have 10 tanks again? Like, how are you rebuilding these so damned quickly?
And without overlords / overseers, you're like, you can't really get a full lay of the land. You're like, it's hard to know that you're disengaging until you've lost a lot more roaches than you expected. And you're like, oh no, and then you have that conundrum, like sort of sunken cost fallacy. Well, I've put so many resources into this, it has to work. So you overcommit, and then.
Yeah. I always get inspired when I watch Bly, because I do the exact same thing where I feel like I'm going to die if I swap off Roach Ravager, or I need to kill them, or I need to just keep massing it. But especially when someone goes very Marauder tank heavy or very tank ghost heavy, like we saw in that Maru series. I remember it was like game 2 where Raynor played a little bit better, and like 15 minutes of him hemorrhaging units and like 1/3 of the cost efficiency. And he was like, maybe I should try building some Zerglings. And he runs in and like smashes like 12 siege tanks for 30 Zerglings. And I'm like, yes! swap off, because he was just making Lurkers and Banelings only. And I was like, these units don't work versus mass tank. And that's what happens. But this brings us to the ace match. You couldn't have planned it any better. The hype is real. And the ace match, for those who don't know, the final match is a Masters match. It's the 2 best players from the team, and they play a best of 3 to decide what happens. So the whole series now resets and boils down to a best of 3 match. This is going to be bloody awesome. This is going to be sick.
Yeah. There's a relatively large MMR discrepancy for them as well, considering at the highest level of Chobo Team League. That's a big deal. In the top left here, in the orange, this is Captain Hindsight for Platinum Heroes, the crown jewel of Platinum Heroes coming out here for the Terran pieces. And they are 4,712 MMR. That's a big MMR there. That's actually knocking on the door of Grandmaster. That's not very far away at all.
Yeah, that's almost, that's like day 1 GM basically. Actually, like when the first day GM comes out, and a lot of people haven't played their games yet. You might get GM with 4,700.
That's right. And in the bottom right, player 2, aka Invux, I think, is of course representing ScSwarm, as all Zergs do.
So Invux
300
playing on player 2, not the greatest name. So we will stick with Invux as the name for our purple player here.
Go with Invux.
And so Invux is a business student. They learn how to do the business. They make with the money and the transactions and with the organizing of the business things.
The organizing, yep.
Yep. Invux does live in a rural area, so actually he plays on satellite internet with really massive lag apparently. So that's why, no doubt, picked Zerg. Makes sense. No micro, right? Can't do that with Terran. Yeah. Says, I play with a consistent 600 millisecond ping on a good day. Average about 750. No. So when you're playing on that ping, for anyone who's never done it, I always tell like my favorite story of playing as from Australia is competing with Sue and Zest. I had to beat in one of the IEM qualifiers, playing on the Korean server when my internet was playing up because it had rained. You know, welcome to Australia, and I had to play with 1 to 2,000 ping. While they were both GSL champions that year, 2014 as well.
So you're already favored going into it, even with ping not being effective.
Yep. And it was like, it was so funny because it was like, I managed to max out a goal achieved. Like I managed to clear one of Zest's armies and he had to spend some of his limitless bank. Yes. But it's like, you can't watch fights. Like you have to give orders, trust that hopefully it happens and go look elsewhere. Like you're giving things orders, you will never see the order get carried out. Like it's all about like, you're going through your shopping list and you're like, it's almost like you're giving orders while the game is paused. If you guys have ever played like a total war game, you pause the battle, give the orders, then resume. You kind of have to have that attitude. So we'll see how Invux plays this.
Yeah, I had a mate that I used to play team games with. I mean, I still play games with him, but he when we were first playing StarCraft 2, he had a complete potato that he was playing StarCraft 2 on. And whenever we'd be in a fight, you know what frame rates are like in team games on his PC? It was just like things would just lock up. Like he would see a frame every 3 seconds. And his thing was that he'd just be on the voice call going, I'm just pushing buttons. I'm just pushing buttons. I hope it happened.
Funnily enough, Captain Hindsight, by the way, is the best matchup, Protoss, worst versus Terran. So it's got the in-between matchup here against Zerg. So not a specialist in it. But it seems like, I think the entire PTHeroes team is actually from the UK, as far as I can tell. Almost the entire team. So cool to see a regionalized group of people hanging out and playing games together. Whereas StarCraft's such a global community these days, but cool to have them all on the same time zone. Oh, the Queen! She's gonna get it!
Go and get it!
Oh, damn!
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people from the UK, and there's a lot of Zergs, and there's a lot of people with opinions on Void Rays, and a lot of parting fans. A lot of consistencies in the...
Well, forgot Concussive did Hindsight. Oh, no, didn't have the gas. There we go. So Concussive coming in. So it's going to be a 2 Marauder Hellbat timing. This is such a classic. It's such a good build, and has even proxied the armory out on the side, so it's hard to scout there. And we've got a Baneling Nest and Zerglings building, though. So 5 queens, 2 more on the way. It's going to be 7 queens plus a Baneling Nest. I actually think Invux is going to be very well prepared against this. It's like sending Zerglings in to scout. The Overlord is going to see it. I'm going to go actually watch from Invux's camera. Oh, is building spores. Glanced at the Overlord, but I don't think actually saw what's coming. Nonetheless, morphs Banelings and moves queens into the middle. So, you know what? 4 Banelings probably needs a few more than that, but I think with so many queens together and sending the Lings for a backstab, which is great because there's no wall-off at home. Ooh, this is going to be really hard. Hindsight already loses 1 Hellbat. That medevac is going down. Oh, does change targets, though. The Banelings getting a little stuck. The Banelings, oh no, they don't go to the center. They get a few Hellbats. Not as many as they could have. Finally, that last queen is going to take out the medevac, and it's just too many queens. This was really well done by Invux.
Yeah, it's just a heavy queen defense is pretty good against most things, scouted or not scouted. And Captain Hindsight came in with those Hellions, is reinforcing a couple more as well.
This is actually...
creep.
Yeah. Well, it's actually like a funny scenario, right? Because Invux did that off 31 drones, so it didn't even have 2 bases full of workers. It was like a tiny economy, and it was actually one of those things where it was like, oh, this is the scenario where your Hellbat's meant to just walk away, but Hindsight committed hard to it, obviously trying to siege on the queens, as you tend to with that push, and it was such a rare scenario to find a Zerg so well prepared, but, you know, I really like when a player does that. Like, you're not going to be as bare bones, like, you know... balancing your defense on a knife's edge the way pros do. But if you can figure out what your opponent's doing, shut it down really hard, even if it's an overcommitment, and then go to the next step, like that's what Invux is doing perfectly. Because drone straight to 50 workers, takes a 4th base, just like it was like full defense and safety. The moment the pressure got shut down, immediately switched gears into macro. So that just to me shows that this is really smart play. And Spore, perfectly placed.
Yeah, indeed. Spore doing its job here, going to get rid of that Liberator. The Liberator got a little bit of damage there. A couple drones and the Extractor went down. Hopefully, Invux remembers to resaturate. It does, of course.
Yeah.
Gets the drones back on that Extractor.
Oh, Lingbane counterattack. The Warlock gets blocked by the Zerglings. The Banelings, though, they're not clicked in yet. Okay, they're going for those workers now. The Hellions coming back. The Banelings need to go after the Drilly Boys. The Drilly Boys try to spread, but oh no, a few of them huddle together. Safety in numbers, they say. No, Captain Hindsight yells, you morons. No safety in numbers. We're not herd animals, you idiots. Spread out.
Yeah. Yeah, those herd animals didn't have to worry about splash damage. It was very much like people only had single target, or the other predator animals only had single target damage.
Yeah.
However, has the splash. Very scary.
There's no crocodile that hops out and sprays acid in a cone onto your your gazelle, you know, whatever. It's like, nope, that's not a thing, but it's a lot of Hellions. 11 Hellions. How many Banelings ready? Those queens need to get out front and center. The Lings look like they want to get the wraparound on this, but I'll tell you, it's a very risky proposition. Going for the run by, in fact. I like the way Invox is just constantly counterattacking. Says, you know what? Microing Lings versus Hellions is a nightmare with no ping. With my lag, I instead am just going to constantly pull your attention away.
Yeah, well, the Banshees are going to shoo away those Lings, but also show the Zerg that there are Banshees. Hellions going over to this base. There's no drones for them to kill, but just going to be a roasty toasting down a few Zerglings before getting ejected from the premises. And it is going to be mech here. A couple more factories going down for Captain Hindsight.
I like to see some mech. We've seen a lot of bio today. Of course, Invox is still way up on the workers, but the Hellions are causing trouble, and he's coming around for that Ling flank again. But look at that. The Hellion micro is good, and great Hellion micro. These Lings, yeah, they got to pull back. Good choice to pull out of there. Queens are defending pretty well, but I do like that Hindsight's keeping him busy and not really losing these Hellions. Needs to do more damage, needs to buy time. Hindsight does not have a third command center on the way and hasn't really got to the next stage of like tanks and Thors and big mech units, right? So we're seeing Magfield, so it looks like it wants to be a battle mech style. The third CC will go down on the high ground, so it's going to progress, but I feel like there's a bit of urgency because battle mech is more about kind of swarming the Zerg. It's about killing lots of drones, running in from all angles, Banshees, Hellions, Cyclones, and really, you know, overwhelming them and using map control. Being down 30 workers is really rough. Hindsight is running into this just unstoppable wall of queens. The Lings and Banes won't stop backstabbing. This is so well played by Invox.
Yeah, it really is. Just keeping the pressure on the Terran, keeping the foot on the throat of Captain Hindsight, not letting them stabilize.
Oh no, the Banshees go down to the Hydras on the other side of the map. One of them cloaks and saves itself, but two of them already did die there. And I mean, this is just such a good example of how you can play Zerg versus Terran. You can do this as both sides, but anytime you just like avoid to fight front on, backstab, avoid to fight front on, backstab, and you just do this. This is a textbook kind of Zerg versus Terran example of how you should play this matchup. Another big Ling backstab. There's so many Hellions. I mean, you can't fight that front on with Lings and a handful of Hydras, but if you just keep hitting the mineral line, look at this. Hindsight is trying to cram all those Drilly Boys on top of each other into that little pocket of minerals to keep them safe. It's a very good piece of micro, but a lot of them died. This is a total of 22 workers dying this game. Captain Hindsight is bleeding out, and Invox is just getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where, yeah, like here and there, there's some inefficiencies for Invox, but when you're ahead 50 workers, does it matter? I mean, not if you have army at home to handle counterattacks, which is the case at the moment. You know, we've got a lot of Lingbane Hydra at home, which is a fantastic defensive army, especially with creep spread to fight on. Yeah, still got those queens alive from earlier. Lots of queens for Invox to join in the battle if they need to.
Lots more Zerglings on the way. 48 Zerglings coming out, so it's going to be a massive Banelings and Lingbane Hydra with a big emphasis on the Lingbane for Invox. And that gives you the mobility. It gives you the surround capabilities. Of course, Blue Flame Hellions destroy, but there's no Blue Flame here. It is 19 Hellions and yet another Ling run by. Oh my god. Captain Hindsight. It feels like he's playing against True right now. You know, Mio Mike or one of these Zergs that just doesn't stop backstabbing you all game long. This is one of the most frustrating sort of games to experience as a Terran.
Yeah. The Natural's going to go down again as far as work is concerned. It's a ghost town now. Nothing alive. These Hellions and Cyclones.
Oh, no.
Time and all in. They already take some free damage there from those nibbles and the Lings before the A move gets clicked.
And look at that Hydra Baneling from behind. Oh, man. The Lings have broken in at home again. Captain Hindsight says, holy shizballs. I got to watch for those counters.
Holy shizackles.
That's game one to Invox, of course.
Invox.
Yeah. That is a best of 3, though, for anyone just tuning in. Just to remember, this is a best of 3 that is going to decide. It is 3-3 out of the best of 7. Final series is a best of 3 to decide what happens. And I think now's a good time since this series, we've breezed through these games. They've been so exciting. Action non-stop. So I'll load this replay up, but let's give a quick shout out to CTL. I know there's a lot of team leaders in chat. There's a lot of people who run the CTL and play in the CTL. So this is a chance for you guys to do a bit of recruiting, a bit of hanging out, and just to say a big thanks to everybody for the support. Of course, Maynard does volunteer his time. We both volunteer our time to cast this as one of our few little kind of, hey, outside of our own stream content, how can we do something to support the community and show off some of these games? And something we always like to talk about is the fact that you don't need to be a top pro gamer. And it's I think Maynard's the same as me. I think I get angry when people are like, oh, you need to be a pro to enjoy StarCraft. There's no point in laddering unless you're a pro or unless you play all day.
That's the silliest thing in the whole world.
It grinds my gears, Maynard. I'm like, no, dude, do you guys know how many 3 beer deep dads there are on a Saturday afternoon playing some games of StarCraft on the ladder? There's plenty. There's also people who call you names, but not many of them. Not many of them. There's a lot more who are just having some chill games. And there's plenty of people in silver and bronze having fun. And it's such a good way to enjoy the game. And CTL and these sort of leagues, yes, these aren't necessarily for your bronze and silver players, though there are leagues out there that cater more to those. But these guys are always trying to recruit more platinum players for the platinum league match that we saw at the start of today's thing. That it's all kind of bracketed up. You're not playing Masters players. You're playing people who are within a few hundred MMR of you. And obviously people's MMR kind of grows and wavers throughout the seasons. They have set rules about how much it grows before you move into another one. But this is a chance for your average Joe to say, hey, I'm going to put on my bloody football boots, pull up me socks, put on me shin pads. I'm going to run around and kick the ball around. You know, I was watching some old dudes play soccer at the park the other day, and it was great. One of them tackled the other and they made contact. And
the game continued.
It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I was like 60 meters away, and I could hear the old man noise just from this slight like shoulder contact there. He was like, ugh, as he like caught himself from falling over. It was the greatest, like, you know how we make noises when we sit down and stand up now as we get older and stuff? Yeah, it was like that amplified so much. He's like, ah! Yeah. He's like, I'm engaging muscles to stop myself from falling over that I never use in my day to day. It was great.
Amazing.
It's good, man. I love you know, people who just get involved, right? It's not like those guys are working out every day. Half of them had beer guts. Some of them, I'm sure, were having smokes on the sideline at halftime.
Yeah, no, that's have I told you about my South Australian, like, the SANFL, the South Australian Amateur Football League?
Yes, yeah, right. Like, you used to have a team of degens, right?
Yeah, dude. I had a guy on my team whose nickname was Spider, and he had a glass eye and would smoke when he got on the bench.
In case you guys were wondering, it's like, is everyone in Australia like a pirate? Yeah. If you live in Maynard's town, apparently, yes.
Well, I mean, you know, Western Suburbs Australian Football League. It's it's a bit rough, you know. A little. Not everyone's fully coloured in up around the edges. It spills over a little bit, you know. Had a probably a 200-kilo guy called Fridge who was a fullback, you know.
Fridge, oh, the perfect nickname for a big boy. The Fridge. Yeah. Oh my god.
The wall of flesh that you can not past. Not the fastest dude in the whole world, but if he caught up to you, goddamn, you are going down.
For context, so there's different reactions, you know. Sometimes like your friend might, you know, your housemate, your mate comes back from the pub, he's bleeding from the face. You go, oh, what happened? He goes, oh, I got glassed, man. Oh, it was really shit. Some of these guys on Maynard's ex-football team, I mean, same thing, walk in bleeding, go, holy shit, what happened? They go, oh, I got glassed. It was awesome.
Someone threw a full can of West End at me and I got KO'd. So let's get someone off the bench.
It was bloody sick.
That actually happened. Someone got KO'd by a fan throwing a full unopened can of beer at their head.
Oh my god! Holy shit! That's so rough. Oh my god!
I played in that league in my mid-20s. It's over 10 years ago.
This is exactly what you guys could be experiencing, but in StarCraft terms, guys. Like you don't need to be
for those fans.
It's about community. It's about insulting. I don't know. Try and KO someone by being like, you know, your circling micro is really bad. Yeah, it's a little bit softer, a little bit more injury free, I would say, competing in a weekend StarCraft league as well. It's a good time for everybody. It's character building, and everybody who's in it, it's the same story. They all improve throughout the season just because they're more engaged. They're chatting. A lot of these players in our little notes here, they've been saying, oh, you know, I prepared 8 hours, I prepared 20 hours. Oh, I got coached for about 4 or 5 hours on what build we were going to use. Like, do they have to do that? No. Do they go into it wanting to do that? Nah, just a bit of fun. But they end up having more fun with their clan mates, watching their replays back of their matches. They have a high-level player help give them a build order for their next match. They get to the finals and say, hey, let's put in a bit more effort. It just makes it more engaging and fun. And rather than StarCraft being this game you log on to and you click find match, you go on and you hop in, see who's in your Discord, you see who's in your in-game channel, and you go, hey, you want to play some customs? Or, dude, I just lost to Void Race for the 7th time in a row. I hate this game. And rather than coming to my Twitch chat, spraying toxicity and me being like, shut up, you go to a smaller group of friends who are going to be like, no worries, rest your head on my shoulder, cry it out, and then I'll give you some advice on how to kill those Void Rays with a cheesy build or something like that. You know, like, it creates a wholesome environment for processing the pain, the effort, the frustration, and the fun of StarCraft.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Everyone that's angry at the video game is because they love the video game and they just want to be better and they just want someone to hold them tightly. Void Rays just be like, don't you worry, child.
Oh, thank you very much, guys, for the support. So make sure, please, guys, do me a favor. Maynard decided to cast from the darkness of his room today, but he will be live soon. Once we're done the cast.
I'm gonna have a coffee after this. It's gonna be probably a little bit of a later start. I normally start a little bit ago, but yeah, I'll start a little bit later. Maybe have a shorter stream. Just I'm not feeling great today. So
do me a favor, everyone. Please open that in another tab. The link to Maynard's stream. Give him a follow. Give him a sub. Click his tip button if you want to say thanks. As I said, we're not paid to do this. We're doing this as a, it's a volunteer thing. We like to do it, and it's a fun thing. And, I feel a bit guilty, guys. We're getting gifted subs and stuff. So a couple of shout outs really quickly before we get to the next one. Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it.
Huge gifted sub bombs. I've seen a couple in the chat. Obviously concentrating on the game and stuff, but yeah. Gifted subs bombs. So thank you guys for showing love to the CTL and to streamer.
Thank you so much, guys.
The Piglies.
I see where all the puns started as well. 2 fish are sitting in a tank. One says to the other, do you know how to drive this thing?
That got me.
Oh my god.
All right.
What is the best time to go to the dentist? Tooth hurty.
All right.
Oh my god. Thank you so much for the subs, Colossal, Bulletproof, Tearful. Just happy to hear some nerds talk about some good games. Thank you so much for the 4 months. Goalie with the 5 gifted subs coming in. Kamikaze gifts a sub to D-Rock. Aldrich gives 10 whole subs. Zoom Waffle with the $1 tip says, we want to get 4 Juby verified. Are you talking about partnership, Zoom Waffle? Because no one cares about the tick. It doesn't do anything. Maynard doesn't even have the tick. Maynard apparently isn't verified, but it doesn't do anything. The partnership is what matters.
I don't want to be one of those tick people, Get that tick out of here. Untick the tick is what I'm saying.
Verify, Maynard. Oh, verify. Yeah, Maynard's turned it off, Zoom Waffle. He's just turned it off.
Yeah.
But that is
off by partnered on Twitch is, I think, what you mean.
I think you're talking about partnered. Zoom Waffle.
He's a German Protoss.
Yeah, he's getting really good. PvP expert, very good. He's been streaming a lot more, so really cool to see. But yeah, I unfortunately not too many Twitch employees hanging out here right now. But
are you telling me that Twitch employees aren't in every StarCraft stream, Pig?
I'll get on my contacts. I'll hunt them down just for you guys. Thank you everyone for hanging out. Sorry for the little shout out there, but we just did a shout out. Then we shouted those out. Go check out CTL, guys. !CTL. Go check out the website. If there's anyone who wants to recruit for their team, join a clan, guys. Join a clan or a guild. I know it sounds like something where people get a hot poker riot and then they brand you. You got to friggin' praise the god serpent and then fucking commit 400 hours a week. A clan or a guild is just a silly name for play some games with some people and fucking have some fun. It's so good. Yeah. So please join a clan, get involved, sign up for the next season of CTL. You get to set up a best of one, which takes 10 minutes to 30 minutes, nothing longer than that, once a week. It's super easy to set up with your opponent. You guys find a time, play the match. It's always good fun. So get in there. All in will brand you, but other than that, it's the rest aren't cult leaders, we promise.
Yeah, there are a couple that are cults, but 99% of them aren't. So actually, maybe more like 80-20.
Yep.
75-25.
Links are open, by the way, guys, in chat. Obviously, don't abuse it. But if you guys are part of a clan, you guys want to put a link to your Discord and a little blurb about why, what sort of community you guys are, where most of you are from, what time zone or whatever, go for it. Please get some advertising going in chat. We've got a lot of people who are probably not involved in that stuff, but hopefully we can get even just 2 or 3 people, 5 people, 10 people over converted and new people signing up for the next season.
I think everyone in ScSwarm has to get a Roach Warren tattooed on their ass.
It's a tramp stamp. It's not on the ass. It's above.
It's a tramp. Yeah. It's like just above. So that if you got a mid-bearing top on, show it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can still it won't ruin you in a job interview. It's not like a neck or face tattoo or something.
Yeah, no, it's just when you're doing the exercises in the gym, you're bending over, and people can say, "Oh, it's a Roach
Someone
boy."
sees the Roach Warren stamp, and they're like, a Roach boy / girl. They've been around the block.
Heck yeah. Well, on that note, it's a 1-0 advantage for Invox. Should we get this final deciding match continued?
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
All right. Let's do it. Thank you, everyone, for the love and putting up with us shamefully trying to sell out for people actually having fun while playing StarCraft and having a social experience. The series is still going. 1-0 lead right now to Invox. Let's see if Captain Hindsight in the bottom right can bring it back.
That's right. It's all on him. This is the leader of the pack for Captain Hindsight, for the Platinum Heroes. The Orange Terran, who is favored MMR-wise, but still having a rough game. And I got to say, in the top left, this guy, what are they doing at 4-3? That was just so much stronger than that. Incredibly good CVT from Invox up at the top left here, representing ScSwarm, and is on match points. One more map, and the champions will remain champions again, 2 seasons in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a perfect game from Invox because
it's not saying that lightly. It's a big call.
Like you said, it seemed way higher, and I think it was 2 things, right? It was good multitasking, doing lots of things, but it was also, I mean, it was a very committed Hellbat attack, right? And Invox, without really scouting the armory, just kind of blindly built a ton of Lingbane and Queens, right? Was not really in a good economy. So if it was a more efficient economic build with like lighter harassment from Hindsight, I think Hindsight would have actually had a better start. So Hindsight kind of attacked into the worst possible scenario. But from there, what was so exceptional was it was like you could tell Hindsight wants to play Battle Mech. Harass with Banshees, harass with Hellions, dive in, dart in, dictate the pace of the game. And I'll tell you, as someone who likes to play that same style, if a Zerg's very good at shutting down one wave and then always backstabbing every time I'm moving out, I'm so used to being the one who's putting the mistakes on them that if they get one Ling run by in and then another one, like I start to make more and more mistakes. And I think that's what happened to Captain Hindsight, right? Whereas like, and I keep leaving my door down and then Banelings come in and I'm too busy defending and my Banshees die to Queens or Hydras on the other side of the map. And like, it starts to stack up because you're actually playing a very fragile style with Battle Mech. And it just felt like once the defense initially was there, Invox just like found every possible opening, was just flowing, landing, Ling counter after Ling counter, Baneling hits, the Queens were rotating defend. Like, don't get me wrong, it was an excellent play, but it was a conversion off a good opening. So I'm wondering if Captain Hindsight can get a bit more momentum this time around and make things a bit harder for Invox.
Yeah, hopefully, one of those, I was going to say in game 1, that kind of build, the Hellbat attack is sort of bringing the fight to the Zerg, forcing a response from the Zerg, and being decisive. But it unfortunately, it wasn't really the attack that put Captain Hindsight behind. It was those run-bys, right? Like the Invox with that Overlord in the natural, even the natural Overlord on Death Aura is far back, but it's still close enough to see when the army moves out. And every time this army moved out, there was a cluster of Lings at that 3rd/4th base location, just running in every time. And Captain Hindsight, if you get a 3rd base up at the wall in, your wall in's up and it's healthy, that just never happens unless the depot's down.
Well, the Reaper's been very hyperactive so far. Hindsight sees that 3rd base is taken in the front. It's rotating around, really hanging around a long time with that Reaper. Could maybe get a creep tumor. Ooh, nope, 3 Queens. Oh, actually the grenade!
Wow.
Chad grenade sacrifices himself.
Reaper dies, gets rid of the creep tumor. When I lose the Reaper, I send the first 2 Hellions across the map because I don't trust Zerg as far as I can throw them.
Oh yeah.
Big.
It's dangerous, right? If those Roachies come out, you got to see them early, especially on Lightshade, because there's kind of like 3 paths across the map, right? There's like the middle, the top, and the bottom path those Roaches could go. So you've kind of got to see them leave the Zerg base, or it's really easy for them to evade your vision.
Yeah, and there are a lot of links coming out here from Invux. At least said Invictus. Invux.
Yeah. So hindsight, because like I said, because Invux plays so safe, massive queen count, really low drone count, just tons of Ling Bane, right? You actually don't need to do any damage. So I love this quicker third command center. The third command center was so late last time. Raises the wall, has a solid wall of hindsight. You could tell is like, no more of those run-based spies. I am just going to build my economy. I'm going to wait for you because right now there's no damage to be done. There's no drones on that third base. And remember, Invux is kind of like waiting for these Hellions to overextend. Is like, please overextend and then I can take you out. But this time, this is what I wanted to see. Captain Hindsight says, I'm going to play a lot more flexibly. I'm not going to dive in. Just going to chip away at the edges, macro up behind it. We'll go Banshee Hellion very solidly, very safely, and just kind of progress from one step to the next. Already is building... Wait, another barracks. Oh my, we're seeing bio. Oh.
Okay, all right. Okay, I mean, game 1, this heavy Hellion count, I kind of felt like maybe Mech would lean into this a little bit better, but yeah, I mean, definitely going to keep Invux guessing. And bio is one of those unit comps that if you do have ping advantage, it helps you a lot. Like, you know, Mech is one of those unit comps you can kind of, you know, when you got the laggier game, you don't really need the ping to micro your tanks around. Bit of a poke at the natural there for the player 2, aka Invux.
It's 10 queens out right now for Invux, yeah, but these Hellions may be finding an opening here. They're doing a good job of keeping the creep back. Still only 9 drones on that third, so still not a big juicy target, and I think Captain Hindsight should feel very comfortable with where the economies are at in this game. That being said, an interesting progression.
These Banshees, if they, I mean, if he's looking at the minimap, that's a cancelled pull for sure. No creep spread there to protect that. Very low hit points. Double Banshee, good DPS.
Ooh, these Hellions might just take an opportunity. Oh, they're just going to get the creep for now. Still not bad. I mean, I like the preserving of the Hellions.
Kill.
Ouch.
12 o'clock died.
Ooh, Fountain of Blood. Yeah, very nicely done by Hindsight. You can now go into the main, and that Spore's a bit far back, so they can hold position and get quite a few drones. I mean, double eBay is now up. 3 barracks is up. Supply drop
blocked.
Does go down, but you know, that's not too bad. Starts 2 more depots, so at least uses the spell to kind of make up for that a little bit. Double Evo's coming down for Invux as well. We're going to see a big Ling Bane versus Bio game. Can't wait to see how this goes.
I love it. These 2 Banshees doing great work for Captain Hindsight. The Hellions as well have killed a lot of creep dreamers. There's been a lot more of a stronger showing from Captain Hindsight in game 2 here. Definitely holding the ropes or holding the reins right now in this game.
Oh, wait, was there no lair?
Fourth in trouble again.
There is a lair, but no Overseer. Where is this? Oh, Overseer's now coming up for these queens. Okay. Should be able to save it. Hindsight's going to have to get out of there if he wants to keep these. No band-aids for that front queen, so it's a queen for a Banshee. Hellion's going to try and fight these queens, but queen's more than a match. Endless transfuse energy there. Now, Captain Hindsight definitely is going towards the 4th and 5th barracks. Doesn't quite have shields started yet, so we'll keep our eyes on that. Still has 10 Hellions, but they're very bruised. So those Hellions are going to be great joined with Marine Tank versus Ling Bane. The question is, where do you push as Hindsight? I imagine it's going to be this north of the map, try and do that high ground, but Invux tearing the rocks down. Oh, very wise. He's got to get those rocks down. Otherwise, those tanks on the high ground ridge are very powerful.
Yeah, they sure are. I mean, even when the rock's down, they are still quite powerful on that high ground. If they can get that little that edge filled with tanks.
Ooh, keeps it alive. 300 hit points. I mean, that's still going to create a nice little wall there. Looks like the Hellions want to dart into the natural while this fight's going down. They're all still down on the bottom left. Tanks sieging up there. Queen's coming forward. We've got a Hydra and an Infestation Pit. So Invux wants to go for that Hydra Bane style. Oh my. Bernie burn time.
Hellions kind of took a little bit to get...
Oh, they queued to morph Hellbats. Oh, wow. Banelings come in on the front. They get a few Marines, but they do go down. Those Hellbats going to be hard to deal with. Already the Queen in the natural is about to fall. The Lings are going to slowly get on top of that. It looks like the Hellbats have been cleaned up. Those Hellions were just a bit too wounded to be quite as effective there as they wanted to be, but Hindsight's really trying to bait Invux into a bad fight. But now that the rocks are down, there's not many units here, so going home is absolutely the right call. And a nice choice. Hindsight's Banshee Does come in as well from behind. No combat shields, Maynard. No +1 armor. No armory.
Yeah.
Oh, the armory's down, actually. But just the upgrades are stalling out. Shields now starts, but I think hindsight's a bit indecisive. Notice there's no SCVs on the 3rd yet. And it's kind of like fiddling with the Banshee. So it feels to me like Invux is maybe, with the Hive, the 2-2, Invux might be growing a little bigger.
Invux tries to go for one of those game 1 defining run bys, but the Captain Hindsight keeps rallying to that choke point there at that one lower depot. Banshee going for the main again. It's actually seeing important information here, so it's not going to do damage, but does see the Hydra Den, so you know that you're up against that. It would be awesome to see the Hive as well. Ooh, 12 o'clock once again in the sights of Captain Hindsight. That is a killed hatchery, I think. That's a lot of Marines.
Invux hasn't been keeping up unit production either, so there's actually not that much Ling Bane on this map. Like, unit count is actually very low, and pushing him back to 3 base, this is really nice for Hindsight, who is just going for a Marine tank all-in. Unfortunately, it's a +1 all-in, so if 2-2, and that finishes in 80 seconds, if you don't push right now as Hindsight and force a fight before 2-2's done, I worry. I really worry. With no upgrades, like not even, you know, nothing but 3 base minerals, 8 barracks, no add-ons on the last 3 barracks. It's just Marines. It's basically a Marine all-in with +1 attack, shield, stim, a couple medevacs, and a couple of tanks. Like, this is only going to be Marines afterwards, though. It needs to do big damage. Lurkaden's on the way. Hindsight's got to go. He's got to go hard, fast, and right now. He's got to get in the face of the Zerg.
Yeah, you're quite right. There is a big army supply lead here for the Terran, and that is the thing that Terran's got going for him. You know, no 4th base, like you mentioned. The upgrades aren't coming. Upgrades are getting further and further along for the Zerg. So if the Zerg can survive this attack, then Zerg is going to have a much stronger late game. Ling Bane running for the natural. This time, Captain Hindsight is not rallying to the defense.
Oh, Captain Hindsight's a bit too far forward with these Marines. Yeah, good pullback. As the Banelings get baited, but he's so clumped with the Marines. This is so dangerous. This is like euthermal levels of commitment with the Marines. You got to be very confident. Where are the Banelings? They're all stuck behind the Queens. There's not that many Banelings. Where are they? They get a couple of hits, but not enough. There's still too many Marines here.
Yeah, you're quite right. And some of those Banes were across the map actually doing damage to the SCVs of Captain Hindsight. And there it is. The Terran hits back for Platinum Heroes. And we've got one map to decide who wins Chobo Team League 25. And I gotta say, I feel like this happened last season as well. Am I crazy?
No.
I swear it happened last time as well, that we went all the way to the last map.
Was it the... Yeah, actually, I think it was the last map of the Ace match, I think, wasn't it? Because, yeah, I mean, it's actually crazy that... How does that... It's ended... I mean, we've cast 1 or 2 that were one-sided finals, right? But yes. I feel like we've cast a couple that were down to the wire as well. And it was last season. It wasn't the one before that. Damn. The hype buildeth. The hype buildeth.
That's right. The hype buildeth, but the hype does not taketh away. Romanticide as well for the last map.
Ooh, or as Hero Marine says, romantic-eyed. No, it's just English is so illogical. If the word is romantic, then it must be romantic-eyed. You cannot change the pronunciation of one word just because it's attached to another bigger bit on the end.
That's right. English is so horribly inefficient, but the Deutsch is far superior because we give genders to things like tables and...
What, do you think a hardwood oak table is feminine, Maynard? What the fuck?
But of course, as it has been when you sprechen the Deutsch for as long.
That is actually the most confusing thing. Whenever I'm like, oh, it is la this or el that, and people on my YouTube are like, actually, that's the feminine this in Spanish and the male, and I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You know, I just Ron Burgundy with milk dripping down my beard. I don't speak Spanish. I barely speak English, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. In the top left here, the orange Terran for Platinum Heroes, the captain of Hindsight.
That's right. And Showed really knew how to make the adjustments after game 1. So very, very cool to see. And this is like the fun of a best of 3 as well is, oh, it's so intense. Are you going to change things up? Are you going to do the same thing? You know, what's going to happen? Unable to find the openings with the Ling backstabs in that last game. Maybe going to need Baneling drops or something like that. In the bottom right, representing ScSwarm, it all comes down to this map. This is Invux.
That's right. An incredibly good game 1. Likewise for Captain Hindsight in game 2. Really felt like both of each of those games each player got to basically show off their plan, and it went off really well. But you know, one way and then the other way. So they've each had a shot. Who wins game 3 though is the big question. Whose plan succeeds? And
you know, I'd like to see mech. What do you reckon in this game? Because it's romanticide. I really like battlecruiser mech coming back. But I mean, the bio went so well. That's kind of counterintuitive, right? It's almost like, well, no, stick with what worked. Duh. Like,
yeah. I mean, Invux has been basically going for the same build. It just didn't really work out in game 2. The Lingbane Hydra being the plan in the end, with the unit comp going to lurk at Hive.
Hindsight actually just cancelled a depot at 99% complete, and then builds a factory and then starts rebuilding it. So a bit of a messed up build order. You can tell the Hindsight's reeling a little bit here. Is like, it has actually already missed 2 SCVs. It's going to probably miss 3 SCVs in total, maybe at least 2. From this messed up build order. Now, I do like the Marines hunting down the Overlord. You can always lift the command center, move it like an inch to the right. You'll see that Overlord. So I really think Hindsight should commit to that. The Reactor First gives you lots of Marines, so it's quite safe. That being said, he did SCV Scout as well, actually. So he knows that it's a hatch first. So he should feel very safe here. But looks like he's just going to make that orbital for now.
That's it. Yeah, so maybe a little bit of nerves for Captain Hindsight at the start of the game.
Yeah.
It's all riding on this one.
Do you think we see that medevac Marine drop we were talking about in, I think, the very first game of the series? No, it looks like... Okay, yeah, it looks like the barracks is going to float over. Okay, cool.
All right,
so we've got 6 Marines.
High ground overload.
Yeah, I think that's such a powerful move, just to limit the Zerg's vision a little bit, and then swapping over to Hellions behind it, always good. What's kind of cute about this as well is you could still go mech here. You've just got this little pack of Marines that can always load into bunkers. They can join up with a drop or something like that if you want them to. Got some nice flexibility. Oh, dude, Invux already breaking the rocks on the front. Worried about those tank pushes. I like it. Really good preparation.
Yeah. Oh. Queen's coming out to help the Lings with those rocks. It's right off that creep. Not worried about air units.
Little low on workers is Invux. I mean, that's been a pattern with Invux early game. Is just not very quick to really drone up the first couple bases, and the third takes a long time. So we saw that Hindsight in that last game just backed off the aggression, right? And just played really slow and said, that's fine, I'll just macro up. But this time, Fusion Core goes down. We're going to see Battle Mech. Yes. Okay, but I think we should see something before then, like a Hellion drop in the main or something like that would be awesome. I think he's so worried about counterattacks, he doesn't want to move out till his wall's complete, though, right? That's what this looks like. I think Hindsight's like, I'm not leaving my base until I know Lings can't get in here.
That's right. Gotta drop that third, baby. Don't want those run-bys. There it is. It's actually an engineering bay, not a third base, but I said there it is anyway. Let's say there it is for the wall in. Yeah,
very nice wall in, though. Gonna go battle cruisers behind it, work to that next step. Very late third command center, similar to game 1. So that was the big problem in that game, is there was just no economic growth. Drop, though, down the bottom. Going to start to pick off Overlords. The Hellions looking for the dart through the middle. Do not want to fight those Queens. I really feel like if they go around them, you'd think, sweet, great, juicy drone targets. But nah, you've seen a lot of Zerglings. There's Banelings. Those Hellions, honestly, just need to chill out and play it very safe.
Drop in the main going to get deflected here by the Lingbane, just following that around, and the Queen's doing their job at the Hellions, so a good split of defenses for Invux.
Nothing at home. There's nothing behind the wall. There's nothing to shoot. One Marine.
Single Marine. Here we go.
One Marine. Oh, no, auto repair. Hot tip for anyone out there, guys. Alt plus whatever your repair hotkey is will put your workers on auto repair. And, oh my god. No. Oh, shizzle fizz, Maynard. That's going to be some big damage. Marine goes down depot, and now a bunch of SCVs. The Drilly Boys end up doing the Marine's job for him.
I think Captain Hindsight misclicked the BC as well. I've done this before, where the N key is right next to B on regular layout.
No.
And sometimes you make a Liberator instead of a BC. I think he accidentally misclicked the Liberator. There's no reason to make a Liberator here. He had the minerals and the gas for the BC. I think that was a misclick.
I mean, it's a good unit still, and it's low APM, so it can still do some damage. It'll pair up with the Hellions, the drops in the south. So, I mean, he can still do some stuff, but definitely it looks like Invux is in control of this game. Not many drones on that third, so the Hellions continuing to be very cautious. I love this cautious play from Captain Hindsight. Liberator comes in, the natural. There's Marines down there still just chilling on the low ground. This is very well done by Captain Hindsight. Force the drones off the base. Doesn't get any kills, though. Invux's reaction time is insane.
Yeah, he certainly is. Very, very good reaction time considering the ping disadvantages we keep bringing up here and there. He's got a very, very high ping. The Liberator is dancing around the defenses of the Zerg, still finding damage. Got 3 kills so far. Threatening the main base now. Invux getting out of that Liberation range. Does take 1 knock on that Queen and losing a couple more drones. Liberator should be dealt with. Meanwhile, we got a big Ling counterattack. The Marines are here.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh Boomy boys. Boomy boys. Oh. Oh, the battlecruiser's a little too late to this party, Maynard. He loses every SCV. Every SCV on the natural.
Yeah.
Marines in the main. Marines in the main, though.
Down. Yeah, there is some counter damage. The Marines coming on in. It looks like enough Zerg to actually fight back, and then Marines find themselves a nice little nest between the minerals and the gas. Just enough Zerglings.
How many queens are there? 8 right now? That battery of queens, that's what that is. That is a battery of queens. Like, they have endless healing, endless anti-air. BC's not going to be able to do much against that. The Hellions need to find some damage. Now, that is an exposed third mineral line. It's going to get right on in there. Get right on in there. Very nice splash damage, but the drones actually surround and not that many workers fall.
That was amazing. It kind of felt like if the Hellions didn't micro into the drones, it would have gone a little bit better, but BC in the main base now, getting that Queen, cycling around the outside of that Spiral Crawler and just trying to target the drones instead. And is definitely finding that drone damage. Yamato, weapon refit about to finish here for the BC, which means Queens are about to be deleted.
It's going to be Bio behind this, but still no third command center. And that's a huge problem for Captain Hindsight, because you've got to play the long game to recover here. There's already a Spire and Bane Speed on the way. Captain Hindsight's going to try and build it back with a couple of battle cruisers, just 2. Maybe we'll even build a 3rd just for harassment. He's going to go Marines behind this. Double upgrades are on the way, but lacking that 3rd command center. I really do feel that was the big difference in game 2 that allowed Captain Hindsight to just progress so well. It was like, you know, just a really clean progression forwards. That being said, Yamato's ready. 2nd BC's out. 3rd BC starts immediately. Where does Captain Hindsight take this game? For now, just picking off drones and a Queen on the north. The BC down there in the main does get pushed back those 3 Queens.
Yeah, I guess for those Queens, spurring up those drones for a bit more damage to the BC. The BC near the main base. Yamatoing down 1 more Queen. Spire's about to finish here for Inbox. Not much gas at all in the bank, though, and that's what I'm worried about here for Inbox, is how many mutas / corruptors can you possibly make now?
It's a very good point, Maynard. 1 BC does pull back. The Queen attack. She transfused the other Queen, kept it alive, and now she's attacking it in the main base. Oh my god! How dare you inject my hatchery? That's right! You know that happens when you touch my hatchery, bitch!
Yeah. I saw what you fucking with my man, sister.
That's so funny, right after dropping the transfuse as well. Like, oh no. As you said, not many corruptors can start. There's just not that much gas. Another Queen goes down. The BC comeback. I was thinking it was a bit of a dream, but we've seen comebacks so far today. We saw Veils earlier with an insane TVZ comeback. Are we going to see Captain Hindsight pull off something similar? There is still a huge 69 worker economy for Invox. And Invox has spores up on this northern base. It is not a soft spot. Where is that 3rd CC? It's only halfway done. The barracks are finally coming out. There's a good Marine tank army. So you know what? There will be a 1-1 Marine tank timing, but it still is rather all in, right? 70 workers up against, 45 SCVs. There's no upgrades for Zerg just yet other than Bane Speed, though. So it's very much, can you get enough Banelings against this Marine tank army? Well, there's only 2 tanks. It's mostly Marines. The BCs, though, are still being a massive pain in the butt. And this is keeping Invox so distracted. Invox struggling to keep up the gas mining. That's really low. The Ling Bane counterattack gets blasted by the siege tanks. Oh, if Invox commits to that, that's really bad. If Invox commits to that, that's very, very bad for the Zerg and very good for Hindsight.
I feel like Invox is actually losing control of this game. The BCs are getting more and more Queen kills. Invox is down to 7 Queens. I know that still sounds like a high Queen count, but actually, you know, Invox has been very Queen heavy earlier in this series. BC still have tactical yump to say themselves and just trading. We're going to go for 1 corrupted kill before leaving.
Oh my god.
Get a second here.
Yeah, and the Marine tank attacks moving through the middle. There's no Banelings. There's 12 Banelings, 25 Lings versus 50 Marines. The problem is the distraction of the BCs is what's opening up the win condition, because this army sneaking around the bottom of the map, it has been completely unspotted. The first sign is going to be these Queens and Corruptors getting stimmed on, annihilated, and this 4th base or 5th base going down. Hindsight, though, I really feel he's just got to dive into the production. He's got to try to win right now with this attack.
Look at this lack of healthcare for Captain Hindsight's army. 1 medevac, but you know what? A big old stim might just seal the deal here. Without Banelings, this is not an army that Invox can stop.
actually feel like Hindsight needs to go deeper. If Invux just chills, sits back, makes Banelings, Invux is fine. It's all about giving Invux's 83 worker economy more time to work, and that's what he's doing. Remember, there's no SCVs being built behind this. There's no 2-2. The upgrades, the +1 melee, +1 range is kicked in for the Zerg. He's building more Roaches, more Lings, more Banes. I mean, it's a nice tank position. It's a good spread for Captain Hindsight, but the problem is if you're all in, you're the one who has the onus on you to speed things up. So he's going to get cute with the drop in the main. He needs to bait Invux into a bad decision. He needs to bait Invux into a terrible fight.
I like the idea of grabbing these 2 medevacs of Marines and hitting the main, but I'm agreeing with you. He needs to do something. Like right now, he's chilling and he's all in. The longer this goes, the better it is for the Zerg.
Yep, those Marines are going to go on into the main base right now. There we go, Queen. Couple of drones will go down. Just don't want to lose these units. Got to pull them back. Third base orbital gets cancelled. It has to lift up. Ooh, nice tank shot there for the punish. Is going to make things awkward for Invux. But Invux is going to max out. What are you reinforcing this with? I got to say, Captain Hindsight, what is the reinforce? What is the next step? And I don't know, Captain Hindsight does not have much behind this. Remember those 3 BCs still exist, Maynard, and there's only 3 Corruptors. If they join up with this, they're actually way better at baiting units in than these drops. They could actually really join. Oh!
I think Captain Hindsight doesn't think he's all in.
Whoa, 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 big fight. And, a lot of the Marines die, but the tanks, big damage. Hindsight holds the position, dude. Hindsight holds the position. Remember those BCs are still alive as well?
Yeah, that one nearly dying to the Spore Crawler, but cycling around and actually finding a lot of damage here at the 2 o'clock hatchery. A third BC jumps in to join in. That's all the firepower here.
Those BCs, you don't want to throw them away, though. They're very expensive. And having used teleport offensively, they don't really have too much they can do. I really think they should have joined up with the army. Imagine if they were fighting with the Marines. Oh, speaking of which, the Banelings are going to find it. Oh, no. Try to save these units. Gets a few tanks. Some of the Marines getting in. Okay, does salvage some of the army. But the battlecruisers die in the top right. And I think Invux has weathered the storm, has survived long enough. Hindsight's not necessarily dead yet. But the 2-2's about to finish here for player 2. Banelings!
Oh, the Banelings crashing in. They do get a cluster of Marines, but it turns into an overextension as the Marines stabilize and protect those tanks.
Oh!
As well, big pickoffs on those Roaches.
Oh my god!
He's got no Banelings. He's got no Banelings. He's making them all right now. They're not done though.
Oh my god. Maynard, I think he might do it. There's only 2 Banelings on the top of this. There's 8 Banelings morphing on the map, but I mean, 8 Banelings ain't going to do too well. Up in the middle, in the guts of the Zerg, as you would say, in between the rallies, Maynard.
Captain Hindsight is to F2. Go, 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 F2. Don't worry about macro. Just go, 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 go. Bring everything across the map.
Oh my god. This is a beautiful position. Is Invux able to rally to the outside? Because Invux still has a much bigger economy. Technically, if Invux can keep producing, there's always a way to get back in this. But this positioning from Hindsight, like, dude, the Marine tank pushes have been so well set up by Captain Hindsight, and they really are the secret to his success so far in this series. Corruptors are going to run across and try to wee on a command center, maybe, but I don't know if this is going to do it, dude.
There's an Overlord Forest in the natural, which the Queens are pushing back. Captain Hindsight needs to go, man! Grab all this stuff, go up the guts, grab those tanks, do it, kill, kill, kill! Here
comes the Baneling Ravager. I actually like the patience from Hindsight. The tanks are sitting back. He's so methodical. These Marines are savaging the natural right now. That clump of Ravager Bane, there's no Lings in it. Tanks are the hard counter to these Banelings. Units are still rallying in. Not every rally point got fixed. This is such a stressful position. You can see these units are all getting rallied into the main and the natural. And oh no, this is so hard. I cannot believe Captain Hindsight has turned this around. The BC harass was legendary. The Corruptors get pushed back by Marines in the north of the map. The flanking army from Invux is going to try and cut off the rally, but oh no, he gets caught by the Marines.
And that is enough Marines to move down.
Oh.
3 Marines go down to the Banes, and there it is, Captain Hindsight.
Wow.
In the last series, wins it for Platinum Heroes. Platinum Heroes, the champions of the Chobo Team League for the first time ever, unseating the ScSwarm. Well played.
Oh my god, that's insane, dude. That is crazy. Wow, 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 wow.
Wow, 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 wow.
Nicely played by Captain Hindsight. And bad luck to Invux after a stellar game 1. And it was a very close final game in that series. But just the defense to the counterattacks really was the adjustment. Those backstabs were not able to find their way in. And over again was just getting hammered there. So really damned well played. Those Ling Bane counterattacks, the secret to success in game 1. Not enough in game 2, and indeed, I mean, the secret to the Terran success is, cramming those Marines in from every angle. Apparently, the BC harass was legendary. That was absolutely not so, and shout out to the comebacks we saw today, because we saw a couple of really good ones.
That we did. Yeah, we saw some great comebacks. Lambda had a game where she was largely in charge on submarine, but of course... And that was match point too. Like if Lambda won that one, then ScSwarm would be the champions. Yes. A lot of it also lies on that big comeback, which was a big moment for Platinum Heroes.
That was two big comebacks for them. Yeah, I mean, talk about fighting for your life, right? Just hanging on there by a fingernail.
Yeah, absolutely huge. Young Vales keeping the dream alive for the team, and then Captain Hindsight sealing the deal in the end. Invox definitely making him work for it though.
Yeah. Well, that was an awesome CTL Season 25 Grand Finals. Thank you for joining me for it, Maynard. And thank you, everyone, for signing up. Thank you, Crispy Bacon, who's helped organize us with those replay packs and everything, and all the other admins of the league, the team leaders who signed things up. Such a pleasure to cast you guys games, and I think really well and hard fought. Shout out to the PT Hero clan and the Absolute Legends for practicing their butts off and getting through here. We saw some dirty all-ins, some great defenses, as well as some great all-ins working on both sides. We saw some sharp pushes, some macro games, the whole gamut of different builds. For me, my favorite personally, I think, was I think it was set 3 between Character and Coleslaw, the PvP.
Yes. The one Protoss showing that we had was both Protosses facing off, and boy, did they make us just happy and worth the wait with that proxy 2 starport Void Ray rush into 3-gate Stalker rush.
Just Void Rays versus Stalkers just smashing into each other. It was amazing.
How can you not be entertained?
I know. Are you not entertained? Oh, some great games. Definitely. This will be up on YouTube as well. Big thank you for watching, everyone, and thank you if you guys played and you have a different name, like I see Suicidal Child. I'm sad I missed my game. Open the VOD up. Your heart from the very first series. Open up the VOD. Yeah. Open up the VOD. You can watch it straight away right now. Do you guys know you can do that on Twitch? We're in the future. Right. We live in the future. Of course, guys, once again, please do me a huge favor. Maynard's going to be live in a little bit, so go over to his channel. Open it in another tab.
If you like Doom, though, just a forewarning, it is going to be a Doom stream. I know a lot of people want to see their StarCraft.
Do you like watching a dreaded man rip demons' heads off and spit down their throat, blowing things up, jumping around, high movement, action-packed shooter, as well as good attitudes, dreads, horns in the chat, and great music? Come on, guys. Open the channel. Show him some love. If you guys want to show him some love for volunteering his time to cast today, go and sub, cheer, tip, follow, and all the rest to his stream. Creep on him there. Go through his VODs and watch him. I think you can even comment on VODs now on Twitch, which is the strangest thing. You're watching a VOD and you can pretend you're part of the conversation. I'm like, well, this is weird. Yeah. Go do that.
Ooh, yeah. There's, you watch Twitch VODs and you watch the chat scrolling and you're like, this is almost like it's live. I want to put my comment in, and then the streamer will get an alert like, so-and-so put a comment on your VOD, and they're responding to someone in the chat. And it's like, it's so strange.
But thank you, everyone, for the love. Big thank you, Master Fastivator, for the 22-month resub. The master of doing it fast, as always. Lil Bow has rated us. Lil Bow Wow, my favorite. What's up, mate? Lil Napoleon, as we used to call him. The King of Blinkstalk has given us a raid. Hope you're doing good, Lil Bow. Saw you streaming a fair bit recently, so good to see you dipping your toe back into StarCraft a little bit. Spud Doctor has gifted a sub over to Blade. Thank you very much, Spud Doctor. Atlas with the 21-month resub. Guys, thank you very much for the love, the support, and for building such strong communities. So before we go, I once again want to say, guys, I don't care if you're a fridge giant man equivalent whose strategy is building planetaries and walling your base off in StarCraft.
Or spider with your glass eyeball and, smoking at the desk.
If you're smoking at the desk, that's what we encourage in CTL. No one's there to judge you. No one's there to judge you.
Yeah,
except that
your landlord doesn't care about the smell. It's just go nuts.
Yeah, open a window. It'll be fine. Nobody will notice.
Body spray and the window open with a fan on. No one will know.
So if you guys want to actually get involved in the community and, make some friends, make some connections, add some meaning to your StarCraft, add some more fun. I mean, it's the same thing. Don't get me wrong. Team games are awful. You go play some League of Legends on your own, solo queue as people call it for team games. usually it's because you hate yourself. Let's be real. It's kind of lesser in StarCraft, but to some extent, it's the same thing. Like the experience is 1,000 times better when you're part of a community, a clan, and having fun. So there's a few different teams who have been advertising their clans in chat, guys. Go sign up on the CTL website, go join some of the Discords, chat to some of these guys, ask them questions here in chat as well as link up elsewhere. And yeah, just advertise your clans, join some communities, play some more games, and have some more fun being part of the StarCraft community rather than just shitposting in Twitch chat and queuing lonely ladder games. Get on it, guys. So get in there, be part of the community. Thank you everyone who's already done it. Big thank you, Ariel Ace, for the subs. And yeah, once again, show Maynard some love. So thank you, everybody. If anyone else has anything to add from one of the clans or anything, feel free to chat about it in chat. I'm not sure when the next season starts, but I'm sure they'll let you guys know in chat. And thank you, Crispy Bacon, who says, thank you, Maynard. Thank you, Pig, for a cast. A few of the other admins are saying some kind words. So thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate the love.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's always great to come to the CTL finals and give those finals a cast. The last 2 seasons have actually been really exciting finals and some very close matches. So it's cool to see some... I liken this kind of thing to playing like, I used to play tennis back in the day, and every tennis club would have divs. You'd have your div 5, div 4, 3, 2, 1. Div 1 would be the highest div, and div 5 would be the lowest div. And you get those divisions playing against each other, so it's always a close match. Even if you're not that great of a player, you'll have a close match against another player that's not that great. And you make friendships, you get customs happening. I feel like when you're in a clan, you improve a lot more because you feel like you're fighting for something greater than yourself. So you work a little bit harder, you'll do customs, and just, make some mates in a game that can be very lonely if you just solo ladder. So nothing bad about it at all. It's all positive, CTL.
Hi-oh. Hells yeah. Greater words could never be spoken. Well, thank you so much, Maynard, and I'll let you get off and get into it. But thanks for volunteering your time again, and we're going to be casting more again soon, actually, in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that, I think is when we start up for the upcoming seasons of stuff. So, I don't know if anything's been announced yet, but I don't think it's all hush-hush, right?
No, it's just Pig, myself, and Zeph are going to be casting, not all together, but like just taking turns. Casting in pairs for DreamHack, just like we did last couple seasons for DreamHack Masters. So it'd be the Oceanic, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau double broadcast. Then that's for a whole week, and then we got another week straight after that of casting China.
China, that's right.
Yeah,
bunch of those.
The time zone, as we call it.
The time zone. Yeah,
that's right.
We love watching time dominate that region, but there's always some cool games as well. Ni hao bitches, indeed. Ni hao bitches, indeed. Zoom waffle. That's exactly it.
But time says side gen to all the people that try and take him down.
There's lots of actual Chinese speakers who watch our broadcast. Sure, absolutely. When we're casting, occasionally there's a few who are like, "Oh God, stop butchering their names," but generally they're pretty forgiving of us. But yeah, thanks, Maynard, and hope you have a good Dune stream today, my brother.
Have a good StarCraft stream, mate. See you on the other side.
Laters, man.
Bye-bye.